Knievel. Viva, Viva, Viva Knievel. One fine day, man came to town, a king of the road with a helmet for a crown, a motorcycle bird who is never coming down. It's a one-man game when they call his name, singing Viva, Viva, Viva Knievel. Viva, Viva, Viva Knievel. He'll keep that chance.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Bobby Trippett.
And I'm Shane.
And today we're talking about 1977's Viva Knievel.
All right if I crash here, guys?
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the team! But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky got no real rhythm.
Hello,
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore. What a shame.
It's for jacking off. Come on, just step on the gas before we get creamed. And more.
So Shane, you're back.
Back again after the Unbreakable episode, as I repeated many times erroneously throughout the
yes.
episode.
M. Night Shyamalan's new classic.
I'm sorry, I was really pumped for Glass.
And what'd you think when you finally saw it?
I actually went to see Spider-Man instead. I still haven't seen it.
Oh,
I've seen both, and you really made the right decision.
Yeah, that's about the that's the sense I get.
so Shane, this is the fun thing is that you're a member of the Patreon.
Yes.
And you asked to be on the show again. And of course we said come back because you were great on Undefeatable. And you had messaged me and said, I'm so happy to be on the Patreon vote episode for a movie I did not vote for.
Yes, that's the controversial bit of this episode. I did not vote for Viva Knievel. I voted for Black Gestapo. Was not expecting this one to win. I thought like this was finally Black Gestapo's turn. We're finally going to get to him. But no, we got this old dude on a motorcycle.
Frankly, none of us thought it was going to win.
Oh, yeah, I think it's an absolute complete shock that Viva Knievel won the poll.
By a lot, too, it seems.
It was going up. I mean, it was going up against Black Gestapo, the sequel to Django, the Slumber Party Massacre.
We thought for sure Slumber Party was going to win.
The almost overwhelming vote
I,
went to Viva Knievel.
Is this like a well-known movie? I didn't know about anything about this until like right now, until yesterday when I watched it.
We will get into the trivia, but this is actually a movie that almost nobody knew about for a long time. And Bobby has, I'm sure, some very good trivia on why that is so.
Dude, I have so much trivia. Evel Knievel's going to try to jump over it.
Oh, that's wonderful. So why don't we do this? Because we know why this movie is so unknown, we will wait towards the end, right before we get into the movie, to go, how come with all these heavy hitters, nobody had ever heard of Viva Knievel?
It's actually in my the bio I wrote for Knievel. It takes me all the way to this film and slightly beyond it.
Great. So why don't we end right before the movie? We'll do Evel Knievel's bio, and you can tell us all about what happened with this movie and his life, because it's very, very interesting.
Of course. Well, I got to ask you right up front, Shane, are you very familiar with Evel Knievel?
Not in the least until I had to watch this. I know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know nothing about the guy, really.
You didn't know that Evel Knievel is a big fan of young boys?
I'm glad we're going to touch on that. I do now. I very much know that now.
You know, I didn't know that either. I thought he was known for his motorcycle jumps, but apparently,
It's a big plot point.
Yeah,
A pretty big one.
I would say it's the plot point. It's interesting to see two men fighting over a young boy. In a movie about motorcycle jumps. But this movie was directed, guys, by a real heavy hitter, actually. He's directed by Gordon Douglas, who has 100 credits for directing. That's right, 100.
Wow.
And guess what? This was the last movie he ever directed.
Going out on top.
Oh, man. So you're saying he crashed this movie and then announced his retirement?
The only other things he's credited with is a TV documentary, which he went uncredited for. So I guess he's technically not credited for it. And an episode of a show in 2016. The only problem with that is he died in 1993.
Ooh.
That's goddamn impressive.
Either he's directing from the grave, or there's another Gordon Douglas out there who's pissed that his credit is on this guy's page instead of his own. But Gordon, he directed about a dozen movies for RKO way back in like the 40s. He's directing movies. And then he went over to Columbia. And then in 1950, he started directing movies for Warner Brothers. And he would direct his next 15 years worth of movies there, including Them in 1954, the Giant Ant movie. He directed that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he also directed Bobby, an Elvis movie in 1962.
Which one was that?
Which was Follow That Dream.
I don't think I've actually
Weren't you
seen
guys
that
just saying Elvis would never come back onto the podcast in the last minibin?
And here he
There you
is.
one. You can never count them out.
One of the other credits I had, which was The Detective in 1968, which starred Frank Sinatra, which somebody wrote is considered one of Sinatra's better outings, which he didn't have many of. But apparently The Detective was one that was passable. So here's the thing, though, guys. Gordon directed this movie in name, okay? But the disaster film producer, Irwin Allen, who produced this movie, was a silent partner on this movie. And in fact, he lent his entire production team to Viva Knievel as a thank you to the producers of the film, who in the past had assisted Allen in securing financing for his movies, The Poseidon Adventure and The Towering Inferno.
Man, those are great.
And guess what, guys? He actually directed 80% of this movie because Gordon Douglas got really sick and just left the production.
Wow. Sick of it or physically ill?
I don't know. That's all that it has, but apparently Irwin Allen directed 80% of this movie, but his name's not on it. And I wouldn't want it either. He'd be like, just let Gordon have it.
Someone knocked him out with a motorcycle helmet and did the jump for him.
Okay, so one of the writers, Antonio Santine, only 4 credits. He wrote and directed a movie in 1964 called The Glass Cage. He also wrote a movie in 1972 called Northeast of Seoul. And then he wrote a kind of a famous movie. It's considered an exploitation movie. It was probably more in the mainstream, which was 1974's Dirty Mary Crazy Larry, which stars Peter Fonda and Grindbin all-star Susan George from Enter the Ninja.
Oh, man. That is rad.
And you notice I said 4 credits, so guess what was his last movie ever, guys?
Was it this one?
Of course it was. This seems to be a running trend now, doesn't it? Writer 2. So out of 2 writers, Norman Katkov, 55 credits. Now, this wasn't his last movie, but it's his only movie. He wrote tons and tons and tons of TV, every show throughout the 50s and 60s. He wrote a couple TV movies, and this was the only theatrically released movie he ever wrote.
Wow.
Yeah, first and last. Norman. Then we get into the cast. We'll save Evil for the end where Bobby can tell us all about it. But Gene Kelly's in this movie. Yes, that's right. Gene Kelly from Singing in the Rain. He's in Viva Knievel.
And he's not doing any of his singing and dancing that he's known for. He's mostly just sort of moping around being sad.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes I could have used a dance number, I feel.
Oh, man, if he suddenly just gotta dance, did a little soft shoe.
So, guys, this wasn't the end of his career, but you know what the only movie he made after this was? Xanadu.
Oh, they're going out on top.
Man.
So it was Viva Knievel, Xanadu, and then he only appeared a few times on TV shows, and that was it. Curtains for Gene Kelly's career.
Out like a lamb.
Now, one person who didn't act in this as her last movie and went on to do a little bit better was Laura Hutton, who plays Kate Morgan, professional photographer. 59 credits. Her first movie was 1968's Paper Lion, which is something about Alan Alda pretending to be a quarterback for the Detroit Lions.
I can see it.
Sounds about right.
Alan Alda is a quarterback?
Oh, yeah.
Adam Sandler was a quarterback in a movie, so it's like, whatever.
1974, she was in The Gambler. 1976, guys, she was in the sequel to White Lightning. She's in Gator.
Oh.
Surely we're going to cover that at some point.
I think so. Summer sequel month is coming up a few months away. 1981, she was in Zorro the Gay Blade.
With George Hamilton. Who, incidentally, if I may, George Hamilton played Evel Knievel in 71 in the movie Evel Knievel.
There's a story with my family where the infamous Uncle Carl met George Hamilton once.
How'd that go down?
It went horrible, like every time Uncle Carl meets somebody famous. As he went over to him and he goes, "Mr. Hamilton, I'm a big fan of your beach movies." and he just gave him a look and walked away. Didn't even shake his hand.
Wow. That's cold.
So he'll have to tell us all about that when he's on the show one day. 1980, she was in American Gigolo. 1984, she was in Lassiter, which stars Tom Selleck. And the last movie I have written down, she's in 1985's Once Bitten.
Is that the Jim Carrey one?
Is that one? It might be. She plays the main vampire in that.
Okay.
one.
I get it mixed up with another one. But I think that's the one where Jim Carrey becomes a teenage vampire.
I think you're right. But yes, she starred in that movie. And then a few other people, guys, we don't need to go in their backgrounds, but Red Buttons is in this movie. Leslie Nielsen's in this movie.
Now, this is pre-comedy Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, yes, this is when he's still playing the bad guy in movies. Grindbin All-Star Cameron Mitchell from Raw Force and Demon Cop is in this movie.
Really makes the most of his time in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the sad thing about Cameron Mitchell's character is he doesn't need to exist.
There really is no reason.
Like, they just cut to him. They're like, well, we got Cameron. Can we get a role for him or something?
Does he even speak in this movie? Like, I think he has like one line of dialogue.
Yeah, I think there's just times when he comes up and he goes, yeah, I got it. And then, guys, I can't get through the cast without mentioning one more Grindbin All-Star from Star Crash, Marjo. How do you even pronounce his name, Bobby?
Marjo.
Yeah.
Marjo Gortner, who we were hoping never to see again, but he's here.
But here he is.
That's a face I never thought I'd see again. That's a face like Noonan I never thought I'd see in another movie. But he's here. So if you want to hear all about my Noonan hatred, you can listen to our Patreon exclusive episode for 2018, a full-length episode on the Whoopee Boys, which is a real classic comedy.
Really put the ass in classic.
Bobby, before I get into maybe some of the last trivia you might not have written down, please tell us all about the star of this movie, Mr. Knievel himself.
Absolutely. Gather round, children, crisscross applesauce. I'm going to tell you the saga of one of the greatest Americans who ever lived. Our story begins with a teenage Robert Knievel. He's a high school dropout. He's working in the copper mines in Butte, Montana. And he gets fired one day when he starts popping wheelies in a fucking earth mover. So he's about 16 years old.
Wow.
Earth mover, if anyone doesn't know, it's a gigantic piece of construction equipment. It's like something out of the Transformers.
How did that
So
not
he's
make
doing
it into
wheelies.
this movie?
Right?
That's more
Well,
interesting
because
than anything that happens here.
Oh, we're just getting started, Shane. This is Evil Knievel we're talking about. So he's doing the wheelies, he's popping the boys, everyone's laughing. When he puts the thing back down, he accidentally drives it into the city's main power line, causing a massive power outage for several hours. So now,
How many children on life support did we lose to Evil Knievel's earliest just being a rapscallion?
Hey, he made it up, all right? He brought him toys. He made it up, all right?
he's a sophomore in high school, or at least had been prior to getting this job, and already people have died. So now he's out of a job, and
Did they play the theme song after he did it?
yeah, after each thing that I'm going to cover here, just imagine that Viva song hits.
Well, I'm going to hit it in the episode. It's definitely going to be playing underneath it every time you give us one of the
It's been
stingers.
stuck in my fucking head ever since listening to it.
Oh, because it's a fucking banger. It's one of the best songs we've had on the Grindbin. I love it so much. So now he can't get a job for a while because he's just, some white trash teenager wandering around Montana. And he finds himself in jail for reckless driving. And there's a real chuckle house of a guard who's going through the list of names of the people, and he's giving them all rhyming nicknames. And he happens to be in adjacent cells with a guy whose last name is Knievel. And so that guy gets the nickname Awful Knievel. And then when he gets over to Knievel, he's tried to come up with something for him, and he gives him the name Evil Knievel. That's, if you're probably expecting something more interesting to be the reason he got that nickname, that's it. A prison guard called him that because it rhymed. Over the course of his career, once he started getting famous, he changed the spelling of evil because he didn't want to be perceived as a bad person.
So it's Evel.
Yeah. He's like, but I'm not really evil, so we're going to spell it with E's. I'm evil.
Do you know why he ended up in prison or jail?
Yeah, I said he got thrown in for reckless driving. So he was...
Oh, it wasn't for killing all those people?
They couldn't get him on that one, but they could get him when he was joyriding around town hitting mailboxes.
We'll get him for something,
it's one of
Evil.
those.
We'll get you one.
They got Capone for taxes. So, he's bumming around trying to find odd jobs and ways to make money. He's doing rodeos. He becomes a champion ski jumper. He joins the army for a minute. And then, as a money-making scheme, he creates a local hockey team called the Butte Bombers.
He just creates it?
That's what I got from the info. He manages to put together a...
Just one of those classic get-rich-quick schemes. You make your own hockey team.
He starts a hockey team. But here's where it gets interesting. Because he somehow manages to convince the Czechoslovakian Olympic team to come for a warm-up game with the Butte Bombers. At least I hope that's pronounced Butte. I don't actually know.
So he's like, you guys can just come on down from the Czech and kick our asses.
He's like, you guys are going to be in the Olympics. You need to warm up with somebody. Why don't we do an exhibition so we can get all the townspeople to come in, and pay for this one time only experience of seeing an Olympic team from another country come face the local team. Anyway, so during the game.
Before you tell us what happened, can I guess what happened?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see.
Okay. He does a wheelie with the Zamboni. And kills half the Czech hockey team.
It's possible that something similar did happen. Because what did happen was, and it doesn't specify when I was looking up why this happened, but he gets ejected from the game. Just him.
Just
him, the only guy.
And so I don't know what he did, but he did something that they told the guy who put this whole thing together to get the fuck out of here.
See, it's a cover-up for the Zamboni thing.
The owner, the coach, and the star of the team gets ejected.
Absolutely. And so he's like, you know what? Fuck all you. And he's gone. But he's not the only thing that's gone, because once the game's over, they realize the cash box is missing.
Viva, evil Knievel.
And ultimately, the U.S. Olympic Committee has to cover the Czech team's expenses because all the money's missing.
Oh, shit. He's a real evil dude.
He's awful. He's the worst. I love him.
I can't wait till we get to why this movie. Okay, keep going, because it gets very exciting.
Oh, there's so
We're not
much
even at the
more.
bikes yet. Jesus Christ.
No. At this point, he's only like 21.
Oh, God.
And so his next scheme is he starts the Sure Kill Guide service. SUR-kill.
He becomes an assassin?
Where he... Not quite. What this scheme is he would help big game hunters get the animals that they wanted. He promised, whatever big game you want to hunt,
boy.
I can get that for you. I can help you track one or your money back. And this actually proves to be really lucrative for him until game wardens discovered that he'd been taking people to Yellowstone National Park.
Oh, how is he not in prison?
Viva! And so, naturally, poaching is frowned upon, so that whole operation gets shut down. It's worth mentioning.
So, hold on. They just give him a slap on the wrist. They're like, hey, you can't be killing animals in the national park, but this is just a warning,
Somehow,
evil. Next time you're in real trouble.
Somehow he managed to talk his way out of doing any prison time. This guy's a grifter.
This guy's worse than the actual villains in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Not exaggerating.
Probably got the plot of this movie from something he did.
Yeah, I think this was something he tried once.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I just thought of something. Do you think the plot of this movie is actually what happened? That Evel Knievel just smuggled a shitload of cocaine from Mexico into the U.S. and he goes, nobody will ever guess if we're making a movie.
And he was like, no, some bad people were trying to do that with my corpse.
I mean, this whole thing seems like a pretty chill day in Knievel world. I mean, God.
Right?
Yeah.
You really, from this point forward, we're just going to have to start comparing our own lives to Evel Knievel's and realize that we're doing fine. No matter what happens, we're doing okay. So at this point, he's 25. He's got a kid. I guess he has sired Robbie Knievel at this point, and he decides, you know what? I gotta go straight. I gotta stop all this nonsense. I'm a grown man now, and so he takes up motocross. He finds out he's really good at it. He starts selling insurance. He opens up a motorcycle dealership, and eventually, he's having so much fun on the bikes. He's like, I remember this stunt show I went to as a kid. What if I started doing stunt shows? And so he did. And he put the whole thing on himself, every possible thing to it. He promoted it, he put it together, he was the star. And his first ever jump, he jumped a 20-foot box of rattlesnakes and 2 mountain lions. So
his go straight and ease things down a bit and grow up was to start jumping over snakes and shit.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know what? His decision to go legitimate was try not to land on snakes with your dirt bike.
This is Evil winding down.
He got these by poaching them from national parks, I'm assuming.
Viva! You know he stole those snakes and those mountain lions
Yeah.
and put them in a box.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of overlap
So,
with these schemes.
Oh, yeah, there definitely is. And so, yeah, bear in mind, he's a 25-year-old kid at this point. All of this shit has already happened, which is why he
Jesus.
looks so grizzled in this movie.
How old is he in this movie?
I don't know exactly what his age was at that point, but we're talking right now about the early 60s. So it's almost 20 years later by the time we
okay.
get to the movie.
Okay, because I was
Yeah,
like,
it is
yeah,
alright.
40
He's in
for
his
sure
40s.
in
Yeah,
this
he's
movie.
definitely in his
yeah,
40s.
Yeah, okay.
So the first show goes so well, he's going to put on a second show. And this ends up being very significant because he plans a stunt that they actually do in this movie, in that he's going to pull some Jackie Chan shit and he's going to leapfrog an oncoming motorcycle.
Now, can I ask you a question? Had he ever done this before, or had he just decided I'm going to do it right now?
I'm going to hazard a guess that he had not practiced it, because what happens is he jumps a little late and he gets hit in the groin so hard he gets flung 15 feet in the air.
Viva
God, I wish this was on video.
If it weren't so early.
He's
if it
like the
wasn't-
original Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, he absolutely is. He invented Jackass. It's funny, going through all this stuff and my research and talking about this, we realized that Super Dave Osborne wasn't much of a parody.
Which, by the way, rest in peace, Super
Absolutely.
Dave.
Yeah,
This
right?
is almost a tribute show.
It was like under the radar, and we've mentioned him so many times on this show, and I was like, man, damn.
But so from this point forward, this is the first of what ends up being quite a few injuries. But he quickly becomes a study in failing upward, because no matter how bad he hurts himself, people keep wanting to pay him more and come see him. Probably in hopes that they'll see him hurt himself. And so, little by little with each show, things are getting a little bigger. And now we get to 1967. We're in Las Vegas. And he decides, he's staring at the Caesar's Palace fountains, and he goes, I'm gonna fucking jump my bike over it. So he plans this whole big event where he's gonna jump his dirt bike over the Caesar's Palace fountains. And his wife at the time ends up videotaping this, kind of creating an early documentary. And what he ends up doing is the day of the event, he goes through by the blackjack table, he bets the last $100 he has in his pocket, loses, and then he goes over to the bar and he takes a shot of wild turkey and he does the damn thing. And by does the damn thing, I mean
As you do.
I mean that he landed short and he ended up skidding into the parking lot of the dunes, resulting in him a crushed pelvis, a crushed femur, fractures to his hip, fractures to his wrist, fractures to his ankles, a concussion, and ultimately a month-long stay in the hospital.
So he's like just really shitty at everything, except for scamming people
Yeah.
out of money.
The most amazing thing about this is that he's actually not good at jumping his bike over stuff.
No, he's not. And you know what? He's shitty in this
Yeah.
movie.
Fails upwards.
I don't think there's one part where he actually makes a fucking jump. Everything else he sucks.
And what's funny is he went to ABC when he was planning this jump, and he was like, "Hey, what do you guys think about covering this, making this a special?" And they pass on it. But after he damn near kills himself, ABC then gives him more money than they had initially talked about beforehand, so they can televise him fucking his jump.
It's live, people. He might die. Tune in. Dumbass Evil Knievel as he tries to jump a pit full of snakes.
When I see all the crowds and like the summer heat in this movie, I was just thinking like, you got to be there you want him to crash. You're not waiting there in the heat that long.
Oh, of course.
Just to see him land.
It's just like NASCAR.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch Jackass. Yeah, it's like you don't watch Jackass and be like, man, I really hope they get this stunt right.
Right.
So he does a handful of other jumps over time. Nothing too terribly exciting, but like I said, he starts getting more and more popular with each time. And he also ends up getting a handful of injuries here. He'll get like a broken leg here and a fractured wrist there. At one point, he somehow managed to run himself over with his own bike.
Viva. So did he ever make a jump? Has he ever actually made a fucking
Believe it or
jump?
not, he actually landed more jumps than he fucked up. But I'm just going over the more interesting ones. The ones people remember are the ones where he ate it hard.
I say, if you got Gene Kelly the fucking drunk working on your bikes, you're probably going to crash at least 60% of the time. That's what I'm
Probably.
assuming.
Yeah, I was wondering if that had anything to do with it.
Can you imagine if you're in the crowd, you got to think that like when he lands it perfectly and nothing goes awry, everyone just kind of goes, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Should make him keep doing it until he crashes.
Yeah, do it again.
So he gets to his biggest stunt. The biggest one he's going to do. He's going to jump Snake River Canyon in Idaho. This is 1974.
So this is life or death.
Oh, yeah. This is the height of his popularity. And of course, you can't do that with a normal bike. It's not possible. It's Springfield Gorge. And so what he ends up getting made is a rocket bike, which is like this steam-powered, it's almost like a spaceship that's going to propel him all the way. And he makes a...
Sounds like a great idea.
Like everything else in his life, it's a great plan. It's going to work perfectly. He gets a bunch of investors on board, including Vince McMahon of the WWF, to broadcast this live.
I'd love to see Evil in the ring.
Oh yeah, he's basically a pro wrestler. He's just a white trash carny with a cape. And so they make this whole deal that it's going to be broadcast live in movie theaters, closed circuit television. And they do. And all the investors lose their asses on this because it doesn't go well. So he makes the jump, and the parachute that's to come out the back so that he doesn't die on impact deploys before he's off the ramp. And he ends up, he still makes it off the ramp, but he's not nearly going fast enough, and the wind ultimately pulls him backwards.
This is some Wile E. Coyote ass
Oh yeah,
shit.
and where he ends up.
This is, by the way, best case scenario for if you're watching it. You're like, he made it and he still fucking fell down. How great!
Best case scenario is open casket funeral at this point.
Oh yeah. So the wind drags him backwards. He ends up landing in the canyon, only a few feet in front of where the initial ramp was.
Viva Knievel.
And had he
And
not,
that song just playing the whole time.
yep. And had he actually landed a few feet forward, he would have landed in the water at the bottom of the canyon and drowned because he also couldn't get himself unlatched from the rocket.
Oh my God. I want to see this rocket.
You do, actually. It's in the movie.
Oh, that's right. They do mention. I think I remember this. Yeah,
It's like the X20 or something like that. It's in his caravan that goes around showing you all of his bikes.
yeah. When they're showing it all off, yeah.
Because this movie is
Christ.
like 5 years later. I got a couple more of his famous jumps before we get to the film. Wembley Stadium in 75. This is less than a year after Snake River Canyon. 90,000 people gather to watch this.
90,000?
90,000.
At this point, people are going because they're like, well, I don't want to miss it if he dies.
Right,
because
exactly.
I want to be there for that one.
Which is kind of what they talk about in this movie. You know, like they sent me to photograph you in case you die. Now, you may know this jump because it's actually featured in the film. His plan at Wembley Stadium is to jump 13 buses. And, well, he mostly makes the jump, but when he hits the ramp on the other side, he wipes out and breaks his pelvis. And that is the scene halfway through this movie that we'll cover because they use his actual crash footage. So they use his actual crash footage, they depict that, and then they reenact what happened afterwards, which is where he stands up, he announces his retirement, and then walks off the field with a broken pelvis.
He's got to be like part cyborg by the time this film is made.
Oh, he's got to be at this point.
How many pelvises can a man break?
Exactly.
Well, he currently holds the Guinness record for most broken bones, counting up all of his bones and fractures. Guinness is claiming that it's at like 433.
Oh,
Jesus.
When they talked to his son Robbie in 2014, he said that's way exaggerated. And as far as like actual bone breaks, he had maybe 50.
Which, by the way, when Robbie Knievel was doing his jumps, he always made it.
I think Robbie was better than his dad.
Wow.
Oh, I think he's much better, yeah.
In fact, the big Snake River Canyon jump, a lot of people wanted to try and actually do it, and no one was able to pull it off until 2016.
When who? Robbie Knievel did it?
Actually, no, it was just some other guy. I don't remember the name.
Just
some
I think
guy.
Robbie,
some random
didn't
dude
want to
flexing on Evil.
And so here's one more that I found really interesting. Chicago, 1977. He is going to jump over a tank full of sharks.
Please tell me he lands in
I love it. I love it.
Well, he never gets to actually do the official jump because during rehearsal, he somehow fucks up and ends up breaking both of his wrists and crashing into a cameraman.
I'm sure he blamed the cameraman, too.
The significance of this, and the reason I included it, is it was then parodied on a certain TV show that became a very famous term in television. Arthur Fonzarelli tries to jump over
Fonz.
sharks. And that is actually where jumping the shark came from, was something that Evel Knievel tried in 77. Now, his popularity is immense.
Fonzie made it.
Yeah, Fonzie did it.
Damn right,
Like,
Fonzie better than Evel
no
Knievel.
contest between the two.
But interesting thing, from 72 to 77, so only a 5-year period, Evel made $125 million just in toys. So he was.
Are those the toys we see in this
Yes,
movie?
absolutely. The ones that he sees in the first scene. Those toys made him over $125 million. This dude was God in the 70s.
You can see why he was so proud of them in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Hero to young boys
So
everywhere.
in 1977.
Just don't let them get near him.
Now, fortunately, there's no record of anything like that happening in real life. It's just this movie's depicting it kind of strangely. But 77 ends up being kind of the end of his glory days for reasons that we'll get into. And and things don't go well for him.
Well, he made this movie.
Right. Things don't go well for him in the late 70s. And by the 80s, he is spending the entirety of the 80s traveling around the country in an RV selling paintings that he claimed to have done himself.
This is the one thing I did actually find researching him.
About the
I
painting?
did look some stuff up. All I found was in the 80s, he was just going around the country selling these paintings that seemed to be like,
RV.
yeah, like mostly like Native Americans and like animals and stuff.
Just Americana.
Yeah.
I love that all the research I've did, everyone says that he alleged to have done himself, because at this point, if you know,
Yeah, I saw it was all allegedly.
you can't trust him. Like, he probably stole those paintings. And then in the 90s, he's mostly doing like pizza commercials and the like. He kind of had a resurgence as an icon then of like, a cheesy 70s thing we can use to sell motorcycles. And then sadly, he passed away in 2007 at only 69 years old, because obviously, I think he outlived what anyone would have expected considering what he put himself through.
Now, Bobby,
Yes, sir.
let's go back to 1977 for a minute.
We're going to go back to, they decide to make this movie, which is a big, as you could tell from having watched the movie, it's a big old autofellatio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you
Big
got
time.
you got heavy hitters. You got Gene Kelly, Red Buttons, Leslie Nielsen, Cameron Mitchell, and Bobby. Why was this movie not big in the theaters? What the hell happened?
So here's what happens. In June of 77, this movie gets released. And it's going to be huge, you guys. It's going to go really well. We're going to start out small, and then we're going to go wide, and then we're going to go international. And we're going to take this shit into the stratosphere. And he's going to become a household name in every country across the world. Unfortunately, also, around the same time in 77, his former promoter, Shelley Saltman, wrote a book called Evel Knievel on Tour, which was some hot tea, apparently, claiming that he abused drugs and he beat his wife and kids. And And so, during the same time when this movie was going to come out, depicting him as a folk hero and, loved by all, this book comes out going, this guy's a son of a bitch. He's a terrible person. And so Evel Knievel, who was at the time recovering from several injuries he'd had on bikes, obviously, decided, well, we gotta hash this out. So he flew to 20th Century Fox Studios in Los Angeles, because at the time Shelley Saltman was a vice president there. He's got both of his arms in casts, but he flies out there to discuss the book situation with Saltman. And by discuss, I mean that he had a guy hold him while he gave him a tour of Louisville.
Yeah, he beat him with a aluminum baseball bat.
Yeah, he beat him almost to death. Like the guy.
Yeah, and guess what?
Yeah, Mike?
Now, you remember how I said earlier, how come he never went to prison? Well,
I'll have you know, he ends up doing 3 months in county and 6 months probation.
Viva Knievel. Viva, Viva, Viva Knievel.
Do you think the same guard was there when they gave him his name? Good to have you back, kid.
Welcome back, Evil. And what's funny is he laughed the whole time. Like, apparently it was known he was being really flippant about it while he served his time, of just like, whatever, I don't care.
but he's like the Joker?
Basically. What a villain. The downside, though, is, and this is why he spends the 80s in an RV selling stolen paintings, is obviously because of this awful thing that he did. He loses every sponsorship. No one wants him to jump anymore. And within a very short amount of time, he goes from having hundreds of $millions to being completely bankrupt.
That's a shame because I really would have liked to see an action figure with an aluminum bat accessory.
Because that would have been great. The evil in the cast with the bat.
Right.
Now get evil with the Kung Fu grip.
But yeah, apparently, so I believe they had produced this movie independently almost, and they're looking for like distribution. And beating a man with a baseball bat and then getting in prison didn't help. So it basically died.
Yeah. So obviously they pulled the movie. It ends up going to maybe, I think, 4 other countries. It didn't list which other countries it was, but it's quickly, shoved under the carpet. They're like, we need to distance ourselves from this Knievel guy as fast as possible. He's like a mafia guy.
Apparently, nobody, like people barely even knew about this movie until it was released on DVD.
Yeah, and then what was it? Riff Tracks covered it, and it got around. People were like, "Holy shit, what is this movie with all these famous people in it?" It's pretty phenomenal how all that happened. I'm really fascinated by Evel Knievel. I always have been. My mom was really into Evel Knievel, so my earliest memories had footage of him jumping over shit. So I thought he was a real life superhero. And I like him even more now as an adult when I realize he's a bag of trash.
He's just a literal insane person.
He really is Evel Knievel. Like, he's a terrible human being. Ultimately,
you know what's really funny about this movie is that you guys will notice as we talk about it in the movie that he's single, right?
Yeah, I noticed.
He actually had, I think, 3 kids at that point and was married.
Yeah, and they just cut that.
He's going to get him a little sugar in this movie.
Yeah, they cut that part out of the movie because he's like, I need to be single and desirable to women. Fuck my family. And just got
so
out.
To think we came this close to like the sex symbol era of Knievel, like that, I feel robbed.
He was trying.
Oh yeah,
totally.
All those buttons undone. We get a lot of chest hair in this flick.
Oh, he's Burt Reynolds.
He looks phenomenal.
He's going for his Burt Reynolds, man.
Oh yeah,
man, he's like young Elvis dressed like old Elvis. So the epilogue to as if things weren't bad enough for Shelley Saltman, he does file a civil suit in the early 80s. And he gets awarded $13 million, which, as of now, to date, he has not received.
Oh, gosh.
Jesus Christ. This guy's got, like, pins holding his arm together, and he still has injuries from it, and he's supposed to get $13 million from the Knievel estate, but that phone ain't ringing, man.
Viva Knievel, everybody!
Well, so before we get into the actual film itself, you want to take a listen to the trailer?
The first name in excitement, the one and only Evel Knievel, stars in his first motion picture, Viva Knievel.
You okay?
That was sweet.
Sweet.
I guess the exciting part is the jump, huh?
Evel Knievel. He puts his life on the line with every death-defying jump. The indestructible evil in the excitement picture of the year, Viva Knievel. Also starring Gene Kelly.
Dad? I'm Tommy, your son.
Where the hell did you come from?
Lauren Hutton.
Well, I don't run with the pack. Never did, never will.
Red Buttons.
Better get rid of him before he gets you killed.
Eric Olson.
You got yourself a full-time job till school starts.
Leslie Nielsen. Cameron Mitchell. Albert Salmi.
Now that tire's got to go flat the instant that Knievel has completed his jump.
You saw it just happen.
Marjo Gortner.
Hey, Millard wants to kill you, and your buddy will, too.
Why?
To take your body back to the United States as cover for about $50 million worth of cocaine.
Take this. That'll help even the odds. Save my kid, partner.
Just say I love him.
The chase is on. And the action never stops. Evel Knievel bets his raw nerve and roaring wheels against impossible odds. Daredevil Evil in a spectacular story of spine-tingling suspense.
I don't want to shoot your last jump. I don't want you to ever have a last jump.
That's the nicest thing you said to me since I first met you.
So, guys, we start the movie with the song we've been playing throughout this whole episode.
Absolutely. And then, hey Hughes, how does it start?
From the second this movie starts, I have no idea what's going on. Cause first, it starts with a country harmonica.
Very true.
Jesus,
Very
nice to meet you, Hughes.
Yeah, Shane.
I'm sorry about Gorgor Girls. I know you didn't. That was my fault. I own up to that.
Oh, well, Hughes, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I like him when the guy screams.
Well,
All right, well, I'm not sure. Not sure what that was in reference.
I'm glad we can come to an understanding.
All right. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Hughes. We need to stay on topic for tonight's movie.
So, after we get through about 3 minutes of a theme song, which, by the way, I'm fine with. I like the theme song. The credits go on for a long-ass time in this movie, but at least the song's catchy.
I'd have been okay with the song playing throughout the entire film.
This sounds like it would be good for an animated Evel Knievel show. It like really gives off those kind of like Saturday morning vibes.
Yes.
I would love to see that.
It really feels like that. I'm amazed we didn't have one. We had everything else as far as that stuff goes. Oh, by the way, speaking of music, not that song, but the score for this film was done by a famous composer, Charles Bernstein. And he is most famous for creating the theme to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Fucking do it. I knew
Jesus
it
Christ.
some way. Yeah, you'd work in some Freddy reference.
Yes, Viva.
I really feel like the Grindbin needs to start a 6 Degrees of Freddy Krueger type of thing where you can connect Freddy to any movie we're covering within 6 moves.
We already did. It started at Raw Force.
Jesus. I don't know if you guys... Also, where did you guys watch this movie? I watched it on YouTube. I had to rent it.
Me too.
Because they took it off Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. It was listed, but you couldn't watch it.
I own a copy on disc, so I just watched that. Yeah. Of course I do.
Now, Shane's seen the version I've seen. Shane, were the credits like cut off for you? The movie's in widescreen, but for some reason they fill past the screen.
Yeah, I noticed that immediately. It's on YouTube, but like I tried like adjusting the size of the player, and it didn't matter. The whole thing was kind of messed up.
It's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like the framing of this movie is all fucked up. There's multiple scenes where they like have a bunch of guys sitting at a table and they're supposed to fill a frame and like the guys are halfway cut off. So I don't know if it's just the YouTube version or Bobby, if that's in yours too, but the framing is all wrong.
No, I didn't have that issue.
Okay.
That's you really got your money's worth on that rental.
So.
It was a big distraction. I'm like, this movie looks like shit. Half the frame's missing. Like, it's all out of focus. I'm sure that wasn't fixed on your end, but it was a real shit show.
I saw it was a lot of out of focus. It felt like it was like watching it drunk. It was so weird, which is probably the best way to watch it.
People decided he's like, hey, I could also do camera work, and grabbed it and did it himself.
He ran into the main camera guy. So again, we had to replace him.
So here's how we do. We start this movie, guys, at a big old building, which we learn is an orphanage. Okay?
I thought it was like a castle at first. There was like ominous music. It was like, is this like Castle Knievel? Like, what's going on?
Oh, Castle Knievel.
Yeah.
So Evil's walking down this hallway with a big cardboard box. It says Fragile on it. And then he goes inside a room full of young boys.
Chock full of young boys.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, Pete. And the kid goes, my name's not Pete, I'm Dan. I switched beds with Pete. And he goes, whatever, here's a toy. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Stop the movie. Evel Knievel, in the first scene of his movie, is visiting a boys' orphanage in the middle of the night to give them, quote, toys.
First thing I wrote was, does he have permission to be here? Because there's ominous music. He's going very slow. He's trying not to like wake all of them and make a big ruckus. I was like, is he supposed to be around all of these boys?
He's literally doing a B&E just to push his own merch.
I mean, in my mind, I was like, this is something that Evel suggested and he really wanted to do. Is he's like, no. They're like, Evel, we're gonna have the scene where you go visit the boys and you give them toys and you're like, hey, look at me, I'm a hero. And he goes, yeah, that's great. No, but why not go there in the middle of the night? So I'm sorry, Evel, you want to wake up children and break into an orphanage in the middle of the night to give them toys? He goes, yeah, I think that'll make me even a better guy. They're like, whatever you say, Mr. Knievel.
You're damn right, anything I say.
It's so fucking weird.
I feel like he's like going up to the director. He goes, hey, let me ask you a question. You ever jump Snake River? Well, no, I haven't, Mr. Knievel. And he goes, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, neither of you.
Yeah.
If I want to go into a boys' home, an orphanage for young boys in the middle of the night and give them toys, I'll do it. I'm fucking Evel Knievel. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. I'm like, okay. Jesus.
When he puts his hand on the boy's shoulder and you see those rings in his bracelets, I was like, God damn, he's all blinged out.
Oh yeah. This dude dresses like a cartoon pimp.
Yeah, it's literally pimp levels of jewelry.
And he carries a cane a lot. He's doing the whole Wookie Bear thing.
I mean, I'm writing in my notes. I go, this is not endearing. This is creepy.
No?
Creepy as shit, man.
It's supposed to be like his Christ-like "Let the children come to me," but
yeah,
there's so much just odd about this scene.
To him, he asks Pete, "So how do I look?" And the guy goes, "Super." He goes, "Yeah, that's me, super evil." And then, guys, in comes Wally.
I feel like they were like, okay, Evil, why don't you explain yourself to us in 3 words? And he goes, Daredevil, Santa Claus, Jesus.
Yeah.
Now write my movie.
Also G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
So this kid Wally comes hobbling in. He's like Tiny Tim. He's on crutches. And he goes, Evil! And the Evil looks up and he throws the crutches and goes, "You're the reason I'm walking, Evil. You're the reason."
Your disregard for your own safety has healed me.
Like, he's also the reason Wally's in the crutches.
Oh, for sure. Hey, why don't you get on the back of my bike? We're going to go take a ride. Whoops, you fell off. Well, that's your fault.
Wally tried a snake gorge thing himself.
Yeah. Actually, Pete tried to jump over Wally.
Thank God an authority figure comes in because he's putting his hands all over these boys and we don't know what the fuck he's doing. And a nun walks in and goes, "What in the hell are you doing here?"
She makes it sound like it's a recurring issue. Like this has happened before. Like it's just something they have to put up with.
Yeah, she says, "I'm having a party." And they go in the other room and she goes, "Darn you, Evil. You could have waited till tomorrow."
And he's like, "No, I couldn't because I got a jump or something. Also, I'm going to buy you off with some chocolates. Here you go."
And she goes, "Wait, but I'll get fat." And he says, "Believe me, nobody will notice."
That's flattering.
Viva Knievel.
As he's walking out, she goes, "Evil." And he turns around and she goes, "God bless." And he winks at her on the way out the door.
That wink is lovely.
What a
That's such a great exit.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
You felt it in your heart.
Yeah.
Even at this point, do you guys feel like with his real life and with this movie that this is just Will Ferrell's character from Talladega Nights is very close to Evel Knievel?
Yes.
Oh, definitely inspired. Gives this movie the advantage, though, is it's sincere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, we go to an Evel Knievel show, right? Hey!
Yeah, Optimus Knievel comes rolling onto the football field.
And you know what, guys? Here's the thing. We don't know that the show hasn't started or anything, right? And what do we want to see is to show us how famous Evil is. He rolls up into a stadium and it's fucking empty. Because he just looks at the stand, like Gene Kelly looks at the bleachers, and then Evil shows up and nobody's there. And I'm like, man, times are tough, I guess.
But no, we're getting ready. We're setting up. We're preparing for the show later.
Yeah, and so Red Buttons makes one of his 2 appearances in this movie. And Gene Kelly, who plays the very problematic character of Evil's bike mechanic, who's also a raging drunk. And
also like his mentor too,
because he used to be an even better jumper than Evil. This character's name is Will, and Knievel's basically like, this guy taught me everything I know, and now he's an alcoholic.
He's our fallen angel.
But I trust him to fix my bikes before my jumps, and also I hear that he hates his son. This is our character we're supposed to feel sorry for in this movie. Gene Kelly, a raging drunk who beats children and is a total asshole.
And the first sympathetic thing we have is he runs in and threatens to beat up Red Buttons.
It escalates so fast, too.
Do you think there's another thing where Evil's like, look, I'm going to be the good guy, okay? So everybody that I surround myself with, they got to be a jerk because everybody's got to love me. I'm the reason they're here. And so Gene Kelly and Red Buttons, they're all garbage because Evil's the man.
It's like in that movie Pop Star where he hired a shorter guy than him just to stand next to him so he looked taller.
Like he wants to get Gene Kelly from Singing in the Rain, and he goes, I'd love to get Gene Kelly in this movie and shit all over him.
Steal his son.
So this guy's a hot toilet and you're a garbage fire, and I'm going to stand in between you and look like the golden boy.
So yeah, Red Buttons is a real piece of garbage. Gene Kelly tries to beat him up, and he's a piece of garbage. And then we see Evel Knievel shows up. He signs a bunch of autographs, and then a woman shows up, and he just hits on her in front of a bunch of children.
He says, Mr. Knievel, can I tell you what to write? And he says, well, I've known what to write to pretty girls like you since I was in kindergarten, and everyone's ooh.
There's also a weird joke where like someone asks if his rings are are real diamonds, and then he says like it's a television set.
Yeah, it's a portable television set. You can tune in and watch me, and everyone just kind of politely chuckles because it
Yeah.
didn't land. They're
Good
like,
one, Evil.
Much like Evil Knievel, it didn't land.
That's from the Evil stand-up album. You guys got to hear the rest of it so it's in context. It's a real like deep cut. So then all of a sudden, a helicopter lands. Kate Morgan, professional photographer, gets out to take some pictures of Evil, and he walks over to her, and then he walks over and hits on her while everybody's like, man, is he going to get it in? Like all the kids are looking and everything. They're all anxious.
This is interesting because he says, you must dig making enemies, miss. And she goes, oh, I'm no miss. I'm a Ms. And he says, oh, you're one of them.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Like, oh god.
And he goes, look,
Jesus.
I'm just a man doing my own thing. Now, are you a woman or are you a Ms? She says, Mr. Knievel, chances are you'll never know. And he goes, boy, you'll take any edge you can get. And she says, taking a look at the local competition, I'd say I started with an edge. Jesus.
This whole exchange is so uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. And eventually he's like, so why are you here other than for me to try and stick it in you? And she goes, well, I'm here to take pictures of you because the company I work for, the press, they would really love it if you die. And I get a picture of that. And he's like, oh, really? That's all you're here for, huh? You ain't here to see the jump? You're just here to see if I die? Fucking leech. And that's it. That's basically how it ends, is he shows up and he goes, hey, I'm going to sign more autographs. And then his caddy shows up. So Red Buttons shows up with some golf clubs. And he's like, all right, we got to go in the trailer. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, at this point, I'm just confused as all hell. And this is an Evil Knievel movie, guys. Like, I'm supposed to just be watching people do bike jumps.
Exactly.
You get Red Buttons with a golf bag.
This guy's a promoter and a caddy, and
yeah. Well, he's not really a caddy. Once you get inside the trailer, we realize that he's using a golf bag to transport cold, hard cash.
But why?
Just hold on a second. So Evil gets paid under the table? Like,
yeah.
The one performer on this show, and he's like, I need money snuck to me in my trailer. This money is not for the...
When the villain tries to pay him later, it's more legitimate.
The villains are less villainous than Evil.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, dude, Evil, you don't put this part in the movie, dude. This is the part you leave out how you get paid. Like, if the wrong person sees this, they're going to be like, oh, let's go look at that bank account.
Even a movie designed to suck his dick is depicting him as a shady motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm going to do that jump, but you better bring me fucking cheddar. I need my fucking cheddar, Red, when he grabs him by the fucking collar, basically, and says, like, I think you're fucking stealing from me. And all of a sudden, you're just watching this movie going, what? Wait, what the fuck is happening?
And Red takes exception to him accusing him of stealing from him, and they imply that Red has stolen from him in the past because everyone around him is worse than him. And he goes, you know what, if you want out, you can get out. And the guy goes, no, I'm happy. He goes, okay, happy man, then you make me happy. You pay what you owe me. No money?
Evil's terrifying in this scene. He's so intimidating. As soon as you get the young boys out of the scene, he goes off the edge.
And there's something really horrifying about watching Evil Knievel get real serious and go, now make me happy.
Yes, guys, he brings up a murder.
Yeah.
He says something about covering up a murder or something. I'm like, dude, what in the fuck is going on?
I missed that. I couldn't follow any of what was going on.
You're looking for the door. You want to get out of this room. I don't want to be part of this.
Look, I'm Evil Knievel, all right? I made $100 million selling toys. If I want Red Buttons in my movie and I want to slap them around a little bit, I'll fucking do it.
Everyone's trying to kill Red Buttons in this movie.
The quote is, no pay, no evil. God damn, man.
That should have been the tagline.
That should have been on the poster.
Yeah, like bigger than the title.
We watch Evil Knievel rob Red Buttons.
So far, just to recap, we've seen him break into an orphanage and we've seen him shake a man down for money.
Yeah, we've seen. Then we cut to Leslie Nielsen, who is supposed to be the bad guy, but after what we've seen, you're like, can somebody save us from evil? He's a rich man, right? So Leslie Nielsen's a rich man reading his rich newspaper by the swimming pool, and apparently he's like, man, this evil guy, he's all rich because of these jumps. I'm like, okay, I guess this is a plot point. Where are we going with this?
Well, yeah, Leslie Nielsen's playing a rival promoter who's been working with Jesse, with Marjo Gortner, who is a rival to Evil. He's a guy who used to be a close friend of Evil's, They trained together, they rode together, and he's probably he's a close number 2 if Evil is absolutely number 1 in everything.
But don't you think that he's doing just fine, considering he has this giant palatial estate? I mean, I'm not really sure what the plot of the movie is.
No, I can't really drill down exactly
I've got it figured out, you guys. He has the palatial estate not from his promoting, but rather from his drug running.
That seems like something, Bobby, they just make up halfway through the movie because they're like, I don't think anybody's going to believe that he's some sort of promoter. Is he also a drug dealer?
I feel like there's more efficient ways to smuggle drugs than like making big, elaborate, like stunt performances to be covers for your smuggling.
Yeah, the plan is going to be to sabotage a stuntman and then smuggle coke in his coffin back over county lines.
This makes sense. The worst drug smuggling operation in a Grindbin movie since Catch the Heat, where Rod Steiger was putting heroin in breast implants.
Wow. Like do you put this above or below the Mr. No Legs plan?
Well, Mr. No Legs, we still can't figure out what the drug was.
It doesn't get to rank because we still haven't settled on what they were doing.
Yeah, we can't rank it until somebody tells us one day what in the fuck they were doing in Mr. No Legs. But in this movie, he's like, all right, Jesse, do you want to be the most professional, the most big bike jumper in the world? And Jesse's like, yeah, I guess. And Leslie Nielsen goes, good. Well, this plan involves getting Evel Knievel to Mexico, and then you can be a star. And that
makes sense to me.
Yeah, that all aligns.
Yeah, because this is what children can follow. And then Leslie Nielsen goes over to a table with some goons, and he starts talking business, and nobody can really follow it because I'm just writing, who the fuck are these people?
It's like this Legion of Supervillains meeting by the pool, presided by Leslie Nielsen.
And then we just cut to Cameron Mitchell, who shows up at Evil's show, but it's dark now, right? And he laughs. And he has something sinister planned. And it's like, well, thank you, Cameron, for the cameo. Will you come back? Maybe an hour later.
Well, they mentioned there's going to be an extra trailer, that involved, much like the trailer that carries all of Evil's stuff. And they ask, before we cut to Cameron Mitchell, they say, well, where is the trailer? And they say, Martin's bringing it. And that's why we show Cameron Mitchell. He's bringing the dummy trailer for the swap.
So Cameron Mitchell's there, and then Jesse shows up at the show. So Gene Kelly's working on Evil's bike at night, right? And by working on his bike, I mean that Gene Kelly is just downing a bottle of liquor while tinkering around with some tools and being like, yeah, he wants to jump, I'll make him fucking jump. And that's what's going on. And then Jesse kind of shows up and saves Evil from whatever Gene's going to do to this bike, honestly. I mean, if Jesse didn't show up, it might have been worse. But he shows up and he's like, hey, I used to be Evil's best friend, and then I left. And then he goes, hey, why don't we drink together? And then he poisons Gene's bottle of alcohol, right?
He roofies them.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, is that
I wrote.
He does, yeah. Gene got roofied.
Yes.
He starts falling all over the place, and then he's like kind of half passed out, but he's still conscious as he sees in like blurry vision that Jesse's like taking pictures of everything. And I'm just like, okay, well, some sort of plot's happening, but I'm not privy to it.
He's taking the pictures because they need to try and recreate the trailer later.
Yes, but at this point, none of that is making any sense.
No, he's just taking pictures of a rack of tools in the bike. And the pictures when we see them later aren't really that good. Like, could you really look at those pictures and construct an exact replica of a very precise trailer based on those shitty black and white photos that Jesse took of the interior only?
No. And here's the other thing, though, Shane, is that Jesse should know, because he knows Evil and Gene, that they're so fucking drunk all the time, they will never be able to tell if it's their own trailer or not. It wouldn't matter. Like, you could put everything on the other side and they still wouldn't know. These guys are fucking barely coherent with how much they're drinking in a day. I mean, it just wouldn't matter.
Honestly, wouldn't you be?
If I was living Evil's life.
Yeah. You gotta travel around all over the world with this guy, him yelling at you, threatening your family.
The Czechoslovakians are on your tail.
Wanting their hockey money.
That's why he's always on the road. They're trying to get their money back.
Oh, good idea. Maybe that's why he accepts going to Mexico so easy. He's like, yeah, maybe we get out of here.
You know how the Libyans are after Doc Brown? Like the Czechoslovakians, like they're gunning for Evil. Like they remember that hockey match.
So Evil's now showed up the next morning to the trailer, and he's noticed Gene passed out. And here's the thing. He doesn't even react like it's anything new. He's like, oh, so you're on the ground again, huh, Gene? Just another night, huh? Working on the bike drunk. And you've passed out again. And he gets all mad. Well, this is the thing is, so now Evil's going to show how he's like, he's a good role model for children, is that he takes the liquor bottle and he's like, God damn you, Gene, with all these demons. And he smashes
demons off the bike.
Yeah. And he's like, God, this will kill you. This will kill you. And then he
says, I'm not going to let you commit suicide in front of me.
Kind of winking at the camera.
Yeah, and these scenes really show just like how wooden of an actor Evil can be at times. Like he's usually passable, but here he's really like, God damn it, Will, I hear you with his drinks again. But he's supposed to be like selling it as like a big deal.
The only thing that would show you is that he broke the bottle. That was the only emotion they could get out of him. And then he sees Jesse in the parking lot, right? And Evil's all happy to see him. So what do you do when you're happy to see somebody, Bobby, in Evil's world?
Well, you leapfrog him. You have him ride right at you.
Yeah, he tries. As I can see, like I go, well, he tries to kill Jesse by running into him, but thankfully Jesse does like a Jackie Chan split jump over him, and he's all fine, right? And then Kate Morgan, fearless photographer, shows up, and Evil offers her a ride. She says no. He calls her a chicken. She can't resist, and so we watch them ride around the parking lot for a while. He does a wheelie. Then he rides up some stairs and on the dirt track, and he rides up and down the bleachers. And all the while I'm watching this, I'm going, this would be a really shitty ride. It's like bumpy as all hell, man. And it's like, fuck.
Who the hell takes a ride from Evel Knievel?
They're going throughout the stadium, and at any moment, like a janitor can turn the corner, and Evil's killed another man. So it's like, I was just worried about
they
that.
They got to run to the next state.
Do you know how many janitors he's killed, Shane? It's not even funny.
I don't want to guess.
We talking accidental or on purpose? Because that's completely different data.
Well, every time when the people actually show up, he goes, hey, we found a dead guy here. I don't know anything about it. I don't know where the tire treads came on it anyways, but he was just here. It's how we found him. So the ride ends, right? She's not impressed. She basically goes like, and that's it.
She's like, I've had better.
Yeah. And he, now he's got his eyes on her. Evil's very interested. So now Gene Kelly, the drunk, is working on a bike while, is that right? Some kid from Harry Potter shows up.
Yeah.
I had Damien from the Omen.
Oh, yeah, Damien from the Omen, yeah.
Yeah. I wrote down fucking Damien ass from the Omen, little boy, is my exact notes.
So he just shows up and Gene Kelly looks at him and he's like, oh, fuck. He walks over and he's like, Dad? And Gene Kelly's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be in school? Get the hell out of here. And he's like, I just graduated 6th grade, Dad, and all I want to do is see you and shake your hand.
And he hesitates like a pro wrestler in the 80s.
Yeah, he looks at him and he's not even going to shake this kid's hand. And at this point, I'm writing my notes. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, this is when, like, you could maybe forgive Will up till this point, that maybe he's just like a curmudgeon that like has had some problems in the past, but now I'm like, wow, he's just a piece of shit.
And then the kid like shows him a book and he's like, look, Dad, I even got clippings of you when you were a jumper. Like I got all these things. I really look up to you. And Gene's just still a piece of shit. That's it. He's just a piece of human garbage. And then Evil pulls up in a car, right? And he goes, oh, hey, Tommy. Oh, my God. It's so great to see you. Gene, look, your kid's here. How great is that? Why don't we go have a good time? Why don't we go riding the bike? And Gene just kind of looks at the kid like just the anger in his face is turning beet fucking red, right? And he's not going to go with them. And here's the thing I thought, guys. Do you also think that Gene Kelly is jealous of his son? Because half of
jealous of the son?
Yeah. Like he's like, Evil's mine. Nobody's gonna take Evil from me, not even my own boy. Because that's how he treats it the whole time.
When Evil asks Tommy, hey, do you want to see my van? Gene was like, damn it, I wanted to see the.
Yeah, he's never showed his van to me. Either that or Gene knows what he does with the boys, and he's very concerned on why. Maybe he's telling his boy, like, you gotta go, and he's being an asshole because he's afraid of what's going to happen. Because, Bobby, what does Evil do with Tommy?
Well, he shows him his van.
Yeah.
Which is not a sentence you want to say.
Nope. He puts his hands on his shoulders and he says, why don't you come and look at my van?
I'm like, whoa, Tommy,
Yeah.
What are they need to teach you a few more things at school, Tommy.
Evil Knievel puts his hands on Gene Kelly's son's shoulders, says, "Why don't you come to my van? I think you'll like it."
And everyone's cool with this.
Well, I'm just like, is there a court order or something? Or the director's like, Evil, you got to stop saying that line about taking kids to your van. It's not what you think it is. It's not going over well. We can't keep doing this.
It doesn't even make sense. Why would Evil Knievel, like, if you're trying to look at this in the most, like, innocent way possible, why is Evil Knievel bringing this child to a van? Why not, hey, let's go see the bikes. Hey, do you want to see, like, the setup for the show? Hey, do you want to see my costumes? No, it's the van. It's like, why?
No, yeah, you're right, Shane. He didn't even like disguise it as like, I got some bikes there, some puppies or something. No, he just says, you want to see the back of the van, and it kind of leads the boy off, and Gene Kelly looks pissed about it. And then Evil massages his shoulders and says it's going to be a great summer.
You know, it's actually really close to, strangely enough, it's really close to Leslie Nielsen in Airplane. Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
Billy, you like movies about gladiators?
Have you ever been to a Turkish prison?
So this scene ends with Gene Kelly looking at the scrapbook and crying. So I think he knows what's going on, guys.
Hey, wasn't Airplane after this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think Leslie Nielsen was definitely like, I remember something from that Evil movie I was in.
Channeling Evil Knievel talking to Tommy.
So now we go to Leslie Nielsen and Jesse. They're up to an evil scheme, and they have cocaine in a bag. And so there's two things going on. There's two plans. Is they're going to do something with drugs and then something about making Jesse the world's best bike jumper at the same time. So that's what the evil scheme is, okay?
Well, it'll be a side effect of the scheme is it'll make Jesse the number one jumper because the number one jumper will be dead.
So they pull up to a golf course where Evil Knievel and Red Buttons are playing golf, which you guys are sure, like me, I'm sure that he made Red Buttons pay for the round, right?
Oh, definitely.
So then they go, hey, Jesse, go out on the golf course and give Evil Knievel this envelope full of money. That's how he likes to get paid, with golf bags and envelopes of money. And just go see how our evil plan works out. And he's like, okay. So he walks up to Evil Knievel and he goes, oh, it's not a bag of money. He has checks, which maybe this is why Evil says no.
Yeah, like I said, this is more legitimate than like what Evil's actually currently running.
That's why he turns it down, because he'd have to go to a bank.
Yeah.
And they have pictures of over there. But yeah, he gives them 5 post-dated checks for $100,000 each, starting with a big jump down in Mexico.
Yeah, and he says after every jump, you cash a check. And so you get $100,000 per jump. So it's $500,000. And at this point, I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. But you're telling me, Bobby, in 1977, Evil's making $100 million off toys. So this is nothing.
Well, I don't know. I guess it is kind of nothing to him at this point. By 77, he's rolling in money.
Because he basically says, nah, I'm an honorable man, and I already got these prior jumps with Red Buttons I'm doing. Even though I robbed him, he's still my friend. So,
and oddly enough, that was a thing in Evil's real life. He was big on talking about his word. I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But I guess the thing he usually said he was going to do was illegal.
I think he just wanted to keep Red Buttons around so he could slap him around a little bit more.
Oh, definitely.
Like Leslie Nielsen's kind of a bigger guy.
That's true. And also Leslie Nielsen's got those goons with him.
Yeah.
So Evil likes a promoter he can, like you're saying, slap around a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
when things go wrong and somebody shows up dead, nobody's got questions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the Evil Jump show, right? And they keep talking. Here's the thing: is so they have the same announcer that apparently travels with Evil Knievel throughout the whole movie. Where they're announcing this, I don't know, because I don't know why anybody would want to listen to an Evil Knievel jump on the radio. Seems like a weird thing to tune into.
Yeah.
But the guy keeps talking up the crowd size over and over. He's like, there's so many people here. We had to turn away thousands at the gate. Thousands. It's so freaking packed in here. You couldn't even fit a goddamn ant in the stadium. It's so packed, people. You wouldn't even believe it.
I mean, it's not just any old announcer. It's one Frank Gifford playing himself.
Oh my God, you're right. So Frank Gifford, there's another person that Evil's like, I want a big guy to do my announcing. I want to pay Frank Gifford so I can smack him around a little bit and talk about how big my crowd sizes are. So then we go to apparently Evil poached some lions and tigers
from Yellowstone.
And that's what he's going to jump over. And I was like, okay, as far as the logistics of this, I'm like, I understand the thing like, oh, look, he's going to jump over some lions and tigers. But at the same time, like, if he crashes, he's going to hurt those animals more than he hurts himself almost.
Yeah.
Like, they're probably going to die.
Their bodies are all meaty and soft. He'll be fine. They'll be too frightened by the crash to attack him.
I also noticed, like, immediately when they start showing, like, when they start showing the cages, you can see there's, like, shit on the ground. They didn't, like, even clean it up first.
It's probably from red buttons. He makes shit in the animal cage.
Evil doesn't let him use the toilets.
No, absolutely not.
No, you go in there with the tigers. You too, Frank Giffords. In fact, you too, Gene Kelly. All you have to shit with the tigers. You don't get to use Evil's throne.
Except you, Tommy. You can use my chair.
Yeah, keep the door unlocked, though. It has a problem with the lock, and sometimes you got to jiggle it. So better you just leave it open.
So we get a visit from the Evel Knievel caravan, which has all of his famous bikes and vehicles and whatnot from real life, including the Sky Cycle that he almost died in Snake River Canyon. And they explain that you're in on possibly the most dangerous day in Evil's life. Like, I don't know. He's probably had a few more dangerous than this.
But Frank Giver's really like hyping this thing up, and then Kate shows up, and she basically walks over and she goes like, "Man, I really hope you died today, Evil, because it'll make a great story for the paper." And he's like, "Wait, you'll see." And then Tommy hands Evil his helmet, and he goes, "Here you go, Mr. Knievel." And he goes, "Tommy, it's Evil." So they're apparently on first name basis, guys. We don't know what happened in the van, but they are now on a first name basis.
I really wish you'd call me Dad.
Do you think that like he would only let Tommy call him Evil on set, and when Frank Gifford or Red Buttons came up and goes, "Hey, Evil, how you doing?" He goes, "Hey, what did you just say to me? What
You
the
better watch
fuck
your fucking mouth now." And so he gets up on stage to address the crowd before it's time for the jump, and he's like, "It's a pleasure to be here in Long Beach today with my old pal Frank Gifford."
And do you think this is the point when people are like, "Shut up and jump"?
Oh God, yeah.
Like we didn't come here for a speech.
But the speech he gives is insane.
It's so good.
Oh yeah,
because he starts talking about he starts rambling about like athletes using performance enhancing drugs,
like race car drivers putting nitro in their cars so they blow all to hell.
That like it's going to enhance you for a little while, and you'll be running great with just like these people who put nitro in their cars, but eventually it blows them all to hell. And if you use drugs out there, you're going to have 3, 4, 5 years where you're going to be running real smooth, and then you're going to blow all to hell too.
Take it from Evil, who doesn't do drugs and doesn't do anything destructive to himself.
And everyone around him blows all to hell.
Yeah, he basically stands up in front of the crowd, gives a story about the Indy 500. And how he says that people... Okay, so this is what I was thinking, because he says this thing about how people put nitro in their cars in the Indy 500. I'm like, are they allowed to do that? Isn't that... Yeah. Wouldn't that be cheating? I mean, I don't know anything about car racing. I'm just like, huh?
You think Evil knows a few guys who cheat on things?
Evil just outed all of them in his drug speech.
Yeah.
All the Indy 500 gangs after him now.
All these NASCAR guys are watching this movie and they're like, what the fuck? Just totally pissed off.
He's like, you guys can blow all to hell.
Yeah. He tells all the kids in the audience, he goes, putting nitro in your body is narcotics, kids. Just like those cars blow themselves to hell, kids, if you put narcotics in your body, you're going to blow yourself to hell. And that's how he ends his speech.
Beautiful young buck.
But I love that part of that story he's telling is that you're going to have about 5 years where you're going to be loving it. Drugs are going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like, you may have a whole decade that's just going to be fucking awesome.
You're going to be killing it, man. Life's going to be amazing, and then you're going to die. But it's going to be worth it, kids.
When you end a speech to children as saying you're going to blow yourself to hell... And then he just walks off stage. And there's like, there's not even, I don't believe people are clapping. I think it's more like crickets, like, holy shit. What did we buy a ticket to?
I think Captain Lou Albano as Mario had the more compelling drug speech. Did you ever see his PSA where he's telling kids, if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die?
Before you die?
Wow.
I'm Captain Lou Albano talking about drugs. Kids, don't be afraid to say no. Anyone that asks you to use drugs is not your friend. Drugs can and will kill. Remember, don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Please.
So then here's what we want. Evil does a little warm-up tricks for the crowd, which aren't impressive. He just kind of drives around dirt track and does like a wheelie, and people are like, is he going to do the fucking jump? Also, here's the thing is, so you pay money, you pay good American coin to go see a Evel Knievel jump. Is it just one jump and the show's over?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
So the show consists of me like paying, $30 for my family to go in 1977, which is like $500 today. Paying to park. You get up there, you buy a hot dog, a soda, and everything. You sit down. You have to hear him talk about some narcotic speech, and then he does one jump, and you go home.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, as a young lad, we had like our Tony Hawks, but like at least they do stuff for the whole time. This is like one thing, and then he's done.
And be sure to buy an action figure on the way out.
And then he just pumps the music once the jump's over, and just get the hell out of here.
Speaking of which, I would love to play Evel Knievel like pro jumper or whatever, for PS2.
Yeah, you just fall the whole time.
Oh my god, the ragdoll physics would be amazing.
It's mostly just surgeons trying to put him back together.
Yeah, at the end of the level, it goes, you broke pelvis, arm, and it's like the more bones you broke, the better.
It's like they do that Mortal Kombat effect where they cut to the X-ray of the bone going as it smashes, as he just flip-flops across the pavement. Oh, I love that game. God. I want that at least on like phone or something.
Oh, that would be a perfect phone game. Yeah, Grindbin Studios presents. And you know what? Here's it goes. Guys, we're going to give all the money from the proceeds of our mobile game where you break all Evel Knievel's bones to the guy he owes $15 million to.
Damn right. That's how it should. That guy should be allowed to put out that.
Also to animal preserves.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy in the animal preserves where he took these tigers and lions.
Causes and groups and individuals that deserve money because of Evel Knievel that I don't think anyone would get any money. It'd be spread too thin. Like the people he has harmed in his 69 years on this planet.
That's why that guy can't get the $15 million. They're like, look, man, we owe a lot of people a lot of money. Okay, you got to get in line.
Little known fact, you guys. Little known fact: Butte, Montana, still doesn't have power.
They've been going after Robbie Knievel for years, trying to get the money so they can turn the power back on.
And you know what? He's just a little too fast on that bike.
Yeah. Every time the guy comes up, he just rides away, rides off to the next town.
He's got a soundtrack behind him going, Robbie Knievel.
So here's the thing: is like, so Evel does the warm up tricks, which all suck, and then he goes back and he's like, I need to get my jump bike. So I'm like, he has to have two different bikes. Like, man, you didn't do anything. You just rode around in a circle for a while. But he needs his jump bike, right? And he tells Tommy, he looks over at Tommy and he goes, hey, Tommy, you know what? You got a job until school starts. And Gene looks livid over this.
And then you keep thinking that you can't take it up another notch, and then he does.
Oh, I just he never said what kind of job, and I don't want to know.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that road.
But I do love this is he wants to slap Gene Kelly around for a while. So he's like, hey, Gene, these handlebars are a little low. Why don't you raise them the fuck up, huh? I'm the one paying your bills. So in a sense, I'm his father, Gene. I'm his father.
And so it's time for the jump. So he gets up on the ramp and he's looking down and the cats are looking up at him like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And a hush comes over the crowd.
Here's the moment of truth. The jump happens. Frank Gifford is fucking, shilling this shit to the radio, talking it up.
Frank Gifford is rhino hard.
Hey, he is, man. And Bobby, how does the jump go?
Why Evel sticks the landing right on his ass.
Yeah.
The bike just flies out from under him and he lands ass first on the ramp.
So the first jump we see from Evel Knievel in his own movie is him crashing hard, and it's his own fault. It's nobody else's fault.
It takes us 40 minutes to get here.
Because the thing is like, they didn't sabotage his bike. They could have. Jesse or Cameron Mitchell. No, this is Evel's own fault. He fucking sucks.
And it wasn't even like a weird thing that happened. He just sort of lost control of the bike.
Yeah, he did. He sucks. And he falls over, and then everybody's like, oh my God. And then all the ambulance and everybody rushes over, and Kate runs over and smiles, and he looks at her, and just to kind of rub salt in her wound, he goes, sorry, miss, I'm not dead yet, but better get some more film for that camera. And she's like, dude, Jesus.
Man.
And then Tommy runs to try to see Evel, and Gene, Gene grabs him. He's like, get the hell away from him. Get the hell out of here, Tommy.
Just clotheslines him.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. And then even though Evel's really hurt, and they're like, Evel, you can't do it. He's like, no, I need to address my fans. I need to address the crowd. And he gets up and he goes, this is my last jump. I retire. Thank you, everybody.
And the doctors are going to take him out. And he goes, no. but we walked in here together. You helped me walk out.
And Frank Gifford's selling it the whole time. He's like, he said he'd walk in and he said he'd walk out, and he's doing exactly that, people. What a man. What a man.
Took Jesus 3 days to rise again. He's on his feet already.
And kids, when you do the jump at home, Evil will always make it. He'll always make it in toy form. So buy your sets on the way out. And this is when I write, as everybody's clapping as Evil exits, I'm like, is that it? Because at that point, I'd be like, can I get a refund?
Like, can you imagine being at some of the ones where like he didn't even get off the ramp? You know, like where he first hits the ramp and just eats it over the handlebars. Everyone goes, "Thanks for coming, go home."
Like he's so fucking drunk he can't even make it over the ramp. Yeah.
You know that's like half of his crashes where he was fucked up.
Yeah.
It's
he's getting up there on his fucking soapbox talking about putting narcotics in your body right before he downs a bottle of Jack before he jumps over some fucking lions. So now Evil's in the hospital, right? And Gene Kelly's here, and that little shit Tommy comes in to ruin his time with this boy Evil. Because here's the thing: is like, so Evil's in the room, and Gene Kelly's all smiling and everything, and then Tommy runs in, and Gene Kelly just looks pissed, like he's ruined his one-on-one time with Evil. Like they never get a chance to talk like this, you know. They're always so busy on the road, and
throws him into a rage immediately.
And then you know what else pisses him off is that Evil goes, "Tommy, sit on the bed, sit on the bed." And then he takes Tommy's hands in his, and he talks to him, and you can just see Gene Kelly's eyes looking like, what in the fuck is going on? As he tells Tommy tenderly, he goes, "Son, I might be quitting jumping, but you know, you gotta know when to call it quit."
He says, "A person needs to know this. But you're not a regular person. You're Evil Knievel."
And he's like, "I know, but you know, you just gotta know when to get out. Like your dad here, you lose a dad who also quit jumping."
You don't want to end up like your dad. He sucks.
And then that scene just ends with Evil holding a child's hand to Jesse pushing Evil around in his wheelchair outside the clinic, just like in Talladega Nights.
Is Jesse trying to kill him?
Yeah, because they're doing like a little race outside. And he's like, Jesse, stop it. And then he pushes him over into bushes and Evil falls out. And here's the thing. You know, they're like, Evil, you got to sell that you're injured. But he's like, nah, I don't do that. Because he just stands right up and gets back in the chair like he doesn't need it. And that he's not injured at all. And that he just got healed within like a day or something. Because he didn't even have a cast on or anything. He's doing just fine.
He Willy Wonka's that shit. Like he walks with the cane and does the forward roll out of it.
At this point, I write my notes. I go, hold on a second. Gene Kelly's watching Jesse push Evil Knievel around, right? But he was still half awake that night that Jesse came and sabotaged this whole thing and took all those pictures. Is he like just willfully forgetting this, or like what?
We kind of address it later. His memory gets triggered back.
Yeah, but they don't explain that to us. So I'm like, wait a second. Gene Kelly should
be an alcoholic. He probably has a lot of moments that he can't quite remember.
That's true. So then Jesse tries to convince Evil to go to Mexico, and here's where it goes. Ready? He goes, so Evil, do you want to go to Mexico and do that jump, even though you're retired? And he goes, okay, that's it.
Yeah, sure.
That's the whole scene. No convincing or anything. He goes, yeah, all right, Viva Tequila.
Well, he says Viva Tequila, and then Gene Kelly says back to him, Viva Knievel.
Hey. Now, here's the thing. At this point in the movie, because I don't know the bad guy's full plot, I write in my notes, I go, well, you've already won, because there's no Evil Knievel anymore. You're retired. So, like, the thing is, did they explain the full plot to this point, or did they just say we need to get Evil Knievel to Mexico? They didn't say anything about killing him. They just said we want to get him out of the way so that Jesse becomes the number one bike jumper.
We know something involving drugs and him going to Mexico.
I don't think we really get the full plot until we get to Mexico.
Because at this point, right, I write, well, you already won. He retired. So the plan is now to pay him money to go do jumps so that he'll retire again?
That's intrigue, Mike.
Because I'm like, well, none of this makes any sense.
Isn't that what intrigue means?
I guess so.
These guys are operating on a whole other level.
Intrigue, where the audience goes, but wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. And he's like, yeah, fuck it. We're going to Mexico. Viva Tequila, audience. Viva Knievel.
That's the problem, Mike. You're playing checkers. They're jumping bikes.
So then Kate shows up with a flower, right? Oh, Evil, I'm sorry I wanted you to die. But I got to go to my new job, which is there's a revolution in South America. And Evil goes,
Is that a big deal? There's always a revolution in South America.
Yeah, and he goes, how do you like Mexico? And she's like, well, I don't know. And he goes, well, you're coming with me to Mexico. You like Mexican food? And she, like Tanner, says she can take it or leave it. And that's it. Apparently, Evil just, if he wants you to go somewhere, you're going to go. You don't even have a choice.
He says, why don't you call Frank Gifford? Tell him it's fiesta time.
Yeah, like from this point on, she does a total 180 as a character, because before she was like the sultry, like kind of combative photographer.
Yeah.
And now she's just like the nagging one of the group. She's like the group mom. Like that's her character from this.
Shane, did you see that evil magnetism? I mean, how could you say no?
Well, I was getting a bit hot under the collar too. I mean, ooh.
He put down that zipper. The chest hair's coming out, man. I don't know how you say no to that.
That's not all that was coming out at that point. Man, oh man.
Well, if he puts it any lower.
I'm just saying, he doesn't need a dirt bike to jump me.
So I write in the notes, I go, we go to Mexico by way of America, because this is not Mexico at all. We are still just definitely in California, as he shows up in Mexico to this hacienda where the Mexican people love him. They love Evil.
I just want to know that, like, compared to other, like, Grindbin movies, Mexico is portrayed, like, pretty well. Like, they don't make it out to be a total shithole. Like, everyone's, like, happy to see him. It's, like, this great place to be. Even the only drug dealer in Mexico is some white American dude.
That's
They set this up like it's Ernesto de la Cruz's afterlife party.
Exactly.
No, he's in Mexico, and guess what, guys? He meets the governor of Mexico. He's like, look, Evil, we got this big hacienda for you to stay in while you're down here and you do one of your wheelie jumps. The people love you. And this lady even tosses him a rose. She tosses him a rose from the balcony. I'm assuming that because she's up in the balcony, she comes with the house and everything. They're treating him right down here in Mexico, you know?
It's also over the top that I started to believe maybe he was still in the hospital.
Like he's gonna Jacob's ladder at the end of this and just wake up and go, no, and they're like, Evil, you're fine.
Like everything that happens in this movie is just him hallucinating on the hospital drugs.
I mean, it only gets weirder from this point, so yeah. I'd say that works.
Okay, hold on. We need to explain how Gene Kelly and Kate got to the country. Apparently, they rode down in a station wagon full of Evel Knievel's bikes together. Yeah. All the way from Long Beach to Mexico, and for some reason Gene Kelly and Kate had a ride together, even though Kate's been chauffeured around in a helicopter.
They also mentioned that they drove together for 11 hours.
Where apparently all they did was talk about, like, Tommy.
Yeah,
I guess.
But my point is that they went for 11 hours from Southern California to Mexico.
Yeah, where? Like it takes... I mean, look, Long Beach on a bad traffic day, what do you say, Bobby? 3-4 hours to get to Mexico? Like,
Mexico?
Yeah.
Maybe 4. Yeah. I mean, if you go 11 hours north, you end up in, like, Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, to give that geographically.
Look, nobody knows, okay? They were in the car for a long time. You ever driven on a road in Mexico?
I'm an East Coast boy. This totally flew past me. I didn't consider that.
You're like, yep, I'll accept it.
That checks out. Yeah, sure. 11 hours, whatever.
So they were apparently, yes, for 11 hours arguing about Tommy. And I write, well, where is he? He's not even here. At this point, it's like, where the fuck is the kid?
So for 11 hours, the argument was, where's Tommy? Fuck Tommy. No, where's Tommy?
We might have left him in Tijuana.
She gets out of the car and says something to him like, I bet you don't even know where he is, you fucking lush. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. So they forgot the kid, or he left him behind? Like, what happens? Tommy shows up eventually. I'm just saying, where is he? Like, who brought him down?
I don't know, but this just furthers my point that, like, from the last scene to this scene, Laura has gone from, like, you know, mysterious love interest photographer to, like, now she's just, like, all up in them about, like, their personal things. Like, you don't spend enough time with Tommy.
Do you get the feeling with the way that this timed out that it was originally 2 different characters? Because she says, I have to go, I'm going to go cover a revolution in South America. And then the next time we see her moving forward, she's acting like a brand new character.
Yeah.
She's like their assistant now. It's like she works for them. Because like you said, Bobby, he goes, get Gifford on the phone to her. Like, she's like, I'm just a photographer. I work for the newspaper. I don't work for you.
I feel like he had an assistant character in like the first draft, and they just said, fuck it, let's make it both Lauren Hutton.
Yeah, he didn't want her to go, so he's just like, she could just stick
She's
around.
She's also like a successful photographer too. Like, she had a reputation and everything, but she gave it all away. Follow Evel Knievel around to be another grease monkey? Because she even has her own jumpsuit at the end.
You're right. Yeah, to watch a guy who can't even make a jump.
And honestly, isn't everybody just Evel Knievel's assistant?
Yeah.
Aren't we just living in his world?
Right.
So Gene, that's when Gene goes into the party and he meets Evil and the governor. He's like, I want you to meet the governor of Mexico, Gene. And he's like, oh, great to meet you. And that's when, you're right, Bobby, he walks in, he immediately grabs some liquor from a waiter, has to grab him so he doesn't walk away. And he starts downing it. And then all of a sudden these camera bulbs start flashing and Gene Kelly is like, and he kind of remembers that night that Jesse took pictures. And we go to preparing for the Evil show. Evil takes Tommy by the shoulder. Again, Gene looks very angry, and then Evil insists on taking Tommy to this dark trailer with him alone,
and everyone's cool with that.
Well, yeah, Kate's even taking pictures and kind of smiling. She's like, "Isn't he a great guy? Why is he always taking Tommy to a dark place?" We'll never find out. Evil shows Tommy his own little bike he bought him, though.
That's adorable.
And Evil's like, he's like, "Hey, I got your own bike, kid, and here you go. Wear this helmet, though. Make sure you put on the helmet." And then Tommy rides off and. Did you guys notice how Evil did you notice how he tried to smack his ass as he drove the bike off?
He gives it a little swat. And then what happens? Tommy lays it down like a chump.
Oh my God. This is maybe my favorite scene in the whole movie.
I love this part. This is so good.
What happens when Tommy tries to ride around and be his own little mini Knievel? When he tries to do his Robbie Knievel impression?
Well, little analog for Robbie Knievel. He barely makes it out the gate before he's gone sideways on it. And he done hurts himself.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, he takes a very tiny fall. Like, he just kind of, for no reason at all, tries to ride over a curb.
And immediately, Gene Kelly runs out and is like, "Look what you've done!"
Okay.
He's gonna kill this kid.
He's gonna like Homer Simpson him.
He runs over where we don't know if Tommy's hurt or not. He grabs him by the throat, like you're saying, Homer Simpson style, and shakes the shit out of him. And he's, "Look what you've done! Look what you've done!" And he's screaming at him.
And he signals to the crowd and he drops the leg like Hulk Hogan.
I thought this was the last we were going to see of Tommy. I didn't think he was making it out of this alive.
And he just kills him.
Yeah, he's like, "Well, at least we're in Mexico, Gene. There's plenty of places to bury a body out here in Mexico, Gene. You get you a new son, one you like." So yeah, he basically runs over. Evil runs over and tells Gene to calm the hell down. And he basically pulls him aside. And he's like, "You're a horrible father, Gene."
He says, "Yeah, I've been more of a father to this kid than you have. I sent the plane ticket to bring him here because I figured 10 years of blaming him for your wife dying at childbirth was enough." Like, whoa.
What in the fuck? And Gene even is like, "Shut the fuck up. No, it's not. He killed my wife." That's basically how he's feeling about the whole thing. It's like, dude,
and Tommy's watching this whole thing. This is a lot like in Undefeatable when like young Stingray is watching like his mother and her boyfriend yell at each other like in between, and he's on a bike too. So it's this is almost a new Stingray origin story here with Tommy.
Yeah, he's watching his father and his boyfriend fight over him, who gets to be his father. And it is very uncomfortable. And then finally, Kate runs up to break it up. And she's like, "Both of you are pieces of garbage." She's like, "Evil, you need to stop trying to steal this kid and make him your own. And Gene, you're a piece of human garbage." And she basically calls them both losers and walks off and the scene ends. And we're just all sitting there going like, "Ooh, man."
I honestly wish that was the last we saw of Kate.
She gets in her helicopter. She's gone.
Like, she literally does, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I'm out.
She should have brought Tommy with her and just left, man. For the sake of that child, get him out of here.
Tommy's mine now.
You got one guy who's trying to strangle you and kill you, and the other one who's trying to bring you into dark vans all the time. I think he should just go with Kate.
I think even just putting him down would be a net positive. Just put Tommy down.
Oh, God.
He's been through enough.
Yeller's my dog.
Take him behind the van.
So now Leslie Nielsen and Jesse are up to more of an evil plan, and Cameron Mitchell's there. And apparently they built a replica of Evil's trailer, and they're going to like put drugs on the wall.
3,000 bags of Coke.
They're going to switch Evil's trailer out and line it with a bunch of Coke. Okay. So now we go to Gene Kelly. It's just like we lost a bunch, because this movie is already an hour and 40 minutes. I feel like they cut a scene out here because the next thing we see is just Gene Kelly's already in Jesse's room looking at pictures. And the only reason we know that is because Jesse shows up and goes, "What the hell are you doing in my room, Gene?" And he's like, nothing. And then they look at the pictures. He's like, "Take him away." And then that's it. Cut to Evil comes to visit Gene, who's been committed to a mental hospital. And I write, what in the fuck is going on?
With head doctor Dabney Coleman.
Dabney Coleman goes, all right, Evil, here's your friend. He's in a padded room and he's done gone crazy. And Gene Kelly is like pounding on the door and he's going all around. He's like a gorilla going nuts.
There was something in those photographs that was like some cosmic horror that just like his mind couldn't comprehend, and his just psyche caved in on itself. That's what it seems like.
It becomes a drug scare movie.
Yeah.
Because Dabney Coleman goes, it was the drugs that did it to him, Evil. The drugs. It made him permanently crazy.
And he's not having it. Evil's like, bullshit. This guy's a raging alcoholic, but he's no dope fiend.
This is another scene where his acting is like, because he goes up to see Will in the cage or the cell, and like he's tearing up, looks very sad. And then when he has to like sell it in the scene, he's again like so wooden. He's like, no, that's my friend. He's a good guy. He's a horrible boozer and a horrible father, but he wouldn't do drugs. And it's just so bad.
And so that ends. We just see Gene Kelly's been admitted into a mental hospital with Dabney Coleman as his doctor. It's cut to Jesse riding his new Eagle bike that Leslie Nielsen got him. And the plan...
This is the gaudiest fucking thing. This Eagle
if
bike.
This thing is supposed to make a jump, man. It's got like plastic wings on the side and everything. It's like, it's really not... It seems like it's more trouble.
It looks like a cheap Evil toy.
It looks like those things at that Red Bull event where that like they try to make fly, but like they crumble as soon as they're in the air.
Yes.
Like that fluke dog. I'm expecting to see it like crash in the water eventually.
Well, it's going to crash. I mean, that's a guaranteed. If Evil gets on the thing, it's going to crash. Well, yeah, the plan is to get Evil to do a jump. Then he gets hurt. And then Jesse does the jump in his place. And so Jesse will break the world record. And the way that that's going to happen is that Cameron Mitchell has this exact replica of Eagle's bike, and when he presses this button on a remote control, it pops a tire while a guy's riding it, by the way. So a guy's riding around on this tire, and it pops, and the guy falls over. And apparently that's how they're going to sabotage him, is as he lands the jump, they're going to pop his tire, and he'll fall off and get hurt. They don't say die at this point. They just say get hurt to Jesse.
Right. They mean die, but they're going to tell Jesse, we're only going to hurt him.
And I'm just like, okay. And so then we go to the mental hospital, right? Evil just sneaks in dressed as a doctor.
Evil's pulling an Agent 47.
Yeah, and I really love that he does his Agent 47, but he's still got to get that chest hair out. You know, because a respectable doctor would still have that going, right? So he breaks Gene's out. Okay, this is the thing, is that Evel Knievel, and you know, Bobby, with his past, now I'm not surprised about any of this. He knows how to use a lockpick and everything. He like sneaks in, he gets past the guard, he gets into Gene's cell, and then Gene tries to attack him, like kill him. As he walks in, he's like, get me the fuck out of here.
He doesn't even seem drug crazy. He seems like Lovecrafty and like crazy. Like after you, like that's what it came off to as me. Like it's some horror movie. Like his mind is just broken. But then like all of a sudden he's good again.
He's been staring into the abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evil's like, Gene, calm the fuck down. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's like, look, Gene, you just need to be a father. Not a good father, just a father, Gene. Because that boy needs you.
Not as good as me.
I mean, I'll still be there to make sure that things go right, but you just need to be a father, Gene. And Gene's like, you're right, Evil, you're right. And he goes, look, they got this evil plan to sabotage. Or Gene goes, Evil, they got an evil plan to sabotage you. I saw the pictures. And Evil goes, that's great, Gene, that's great. But I'm going to have to leave you in the mental hospital. Because if I break you out, they're going to be suspicious. I'll come back for you, though, after the jump. And then he just leaves, and Gene's like, what in the fuck? I don't want to be here. And this is the thing, too. It's like, you can break his ass out and just hide him. He doesn't have to be at the jump, right? But I'm sure you guys are on the same page as me at this point. I'm like, Evil's not coming back for him. He's taking Tommy for himself.
Oh, yeah.
Either that or they're going to have like, yeah, he died off screen. It's a real shame. Hung himself in his padded room.
Well, now they'll really think he's crazy. The man with the cape who flies stole my son.
Yeah.
You're telling me Superman stole your son?
That's great, Gene. Back to your cell now. Take your pills. And that's how the movie ends. It's just Gene Kelly in a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest type scenario.
He's about to get the ice pick.
The country of Mexico, the whole country is celebrating Evel Knievel at his show. They got the mariachis out. They got the sombreros. They got the piñatas. They got the parade floats.
And And once again, Frank Gifford brings us in with a Buenos Tardes. Ladies and gentlemen, that of course means good afternoon.
It's a sellout. It's another sellout. You couldn't even fit a jumping bean in the stands, people. It's a sellout in jolly old Mexico. They love their evil. It's like, all right, Frank, laying it on a little thick. And we cut to Tommy. He calls the hospital to talk to his father, and the doctor goes, I don't know, maybe next week.
What they should have been saying was, sir, this is a sanitarium. You can't just say, hey, put that crazy guy on the phone. Tell me he has a phone.
Yeah, so that's why he goes, maybe next week. And he goes, can you give him a message for me? And the doctor's like, yeah, whatever. And he goes, tell him I love him. And the doctor's just hangs up. And then Tommy hangs up and he goes to talk to Kate and Evil. And Evil comes over and says, look, Gene isn't crazy, all right? He told me about some evil plan. He didn't really give me the particulars, but there's some sort of plan to make this thing all go wrong. And he's like, so my dad's not really crazy? He goes, yeah, we'll get him out tomorrow or maybe not. But yeah, it'll all be good. How's the jump going?
Yeah, sometime after this jump, I'm going to go ahead and get him out of the sanitarium. Don't worry, it's after this. That's all I know.
Tommy, you're the new Gene now. Did you fix the bike, Tommy?
Why didn't you fix the bike, Tommy? Tommy, look at me.
Did you bring Evil sauce? Tommy, where's the bottle of Jack? Tommy. Then Kate tells Evil, she's like, look, I don't want you to die. And they share a moment and he rides off to perform in the show. It's like, okay, that's nice. That's as close as they're getting, apparently. Then we go to the Evil show. The crowd loves him, guys. They love him.
Oh, I just said, how can you not?
Yeah, he's a real treasure around the world. He's an international treasure. And what's he going to jump over in Mexico? Well, he's going to jump over a fire pit with a bunch of guys dressed like they're in Legends of the Hidden Temple standing next to it.
That's exactly what. God damn it! That's exactly what I wrote.
They got the temple guards.
Yeah, the temple guardians are there. He's got to get the piece of that monkey.
That Evil would never get past the monkey room, and you know it.
Oh no,
there's no way
he couldn't get past like that rope thing.
In the very beginning, he's like,
I wouldn't want Evil on my team.
No.
You know for a fact he'd break his collarbone on that first part.
In the first second, collarbone broke.
He just folds over like a lawn chair. Like, what the hell happened?
I was going to say, how amazing would it have been if Frank Gifford was talking through Olmec for the show?
Oh, my Lord.
Buenos Tardes.
So here's the thing is that Evil doesn't give his narcotic speech to Mexico because I don't think it hit the same, which I was really sad about. I really was looking forward to hearing what he'd tell the Mexican people. Like, if he would say it in Spanish or just be like, fuck you, either you understand or you don't. Or it would kind of be fun if he had a translator just standing on stage with him as he gives a long-winded speech about how he goes to the Indy 500 again. But the crowd loves him, guys. And then Cameron Mitchell, he's ready for the evil plan to begin. And also, Cameron Mitchell also doubles as the ambulance driver. You know, I know it's Mexico rules, but apparently he's also plays the doctor in this movie.
Very easy to get rid of a body.
So then Evil, he comes over for the jump, right? And Tommy hands him his helmet and he rides off. And then Leslie and the boys are talking upstairs. And this is when I write, what? Is all of a sudden, for no reason, one of the goons says to Leslie Nielsen, he goes, you know what, that Jesse's a junkie. We should never make him the number one jumper in the world. And Leslie goes, yeah, why don't we just kill him? And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, hold on. What? When was it established that Jesse is a junkie? When?
Oh, it is. Earlier on, when like they first... And I noticed this because it's so weird. Early on, when they're going to the golf course to try and like make the initial pitch to Evil, like they have that briefcase full of drugs in the back of the car, and they take it out, and then there's like the fastest cutaway, and then it cuts back to them in the car, and you see that Jesse is like totally spaced out, and like he's sniffling, and his eyes are wide, and like he's obviously snorted a whole bunch of coke. It's just the most awkward cut. You wouldn't notice it.
So he just takes one taste, and they're like, hey, he's a junkie. Let's kill him.
It's the only time we get it.
And Jesse is in the back of the room, and he hears this. They don't see him, but he runs off. Do they have another jumper that they're going to make because this really doesn't work with the plan. Like, what's the point?
I mean, the plan doesn't work, so I guess that doesn't really matter.
But it's like before the plan even goes down, they're like, yeah, we'll just kill him too.
Well, I mean, the plan, conceptually, it's not even really a working plan, so it doesn't matter that these pieces don't quite fall into place.
So they're like, yeah, we'll kill Jesse off screen or something. And then I just write, so what's the point of any of this at this point? fuck it. Now Jesse goes and he stops Evil before he jumps. Because there's like, Evil has to ride up a ramp and there's like the old mech room where he comes out of.
Yeah. It's a good interaction because he's getting ready and you suddenly hear, end of the line, Evil, which I'm sure he's heard many times from the police.
And so that's why he revs his bike and he's ready to go. And he goes, oh, it's just you, Jesse. What the hell are you doing up here?
And he turns to him. He's like, hey, are you, and Jesse's like, I'm going to take your place. I'm going to make this jump. He's like, hey, are you smoking something? Are you high? And Jesse goes, maybe you should get high.
You ought to be high. These guys are trying to kill you.
Evil, they're trying to kill you. They want to kill you so they can smuggle 40 pounds of cocaine with your corpse across the border because nobody will check the body. I'm just like, what?
Some people just shove it up their ass. I mean, like, why do we need all this?
Here's the thing, guys. Why do they have to kill him? Because they could just switch his trailer or just provide him with the trailer with the cocaine in it.
They could just not spend all this. This could just not spend $500,000 making an entire fucking event and just get a random trailer.
Yes.
Why not just make it like a vacation?
That's true.
Why do we need duplicate trailers?
If you had a scene where Jesse goes, Evil, you want a trip to Mexico, that would have been fine. He would have believed the whole thing. That's all you needed. You don't need the $500,000 for the jumps. You don't need any of this shit. You certainly don't need to kill Evil Knievel, because if the plan is, well, they'll never search Evil Knievel's trailer, then why does he need to be dead?
It's really an overcomplication.
Can you imagine children watching this? Because this is a movie for kids, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Because you imagine some kid turning to his daddy, goes, Daddy, why do they want to kill the evil man and put the white powder with him? And he goes, you know what, son?
Why does the daddy in this movie want to kill his son?
And his father, Gene Kelly, is like, shut up.
It's all your fault. And he strangles the kid. Yeah. I feel like the parents would go home and they go, you need to throw away your evil stuff, son.
Yeah.
No more of that. So then Evil tells Jesse to fuck off. I'm doing the jump. And then Jesse hits him with the helmet and knocks his ass out. And then Jesse gets changed into Evil's clothes and the crowd is waiting and everybody knows something's wrong, but nobody's going to go check on him. Even Frank Gifford's like, Evil's never taken this long before a jump. And Karen's like, something's wrong. Gene Kelly, something. Well, Gene Kelly wouldn't know. He's in a mental hospital.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, something's wrong. And then all of a sudden, no, he just pulls out on the ramp. They're like, oh, okay, everything's fine. And then Jesse rides. He does the jump. He gets over the fire. And Bobby, he lands.
And that's when Cameron Mitchell hits the detonator.
And not unlike every other Evil Knievel jump, he crashes. Just like every goddamn jump he's ever done in this movie. He doesn't make it.
And you know why this one looks so realistic?
Why is that?
Because this was footage of Evil Knievel eating it at Wembley Stadium.
You can tell because Jesse suddenly gains 50 pounds when he crashes.
Oh,
like, there's a big difference.
Yeah. And so the people run over and Cameron Mitchell runs over and he's all excited and he turns over the head and he's like, oh, Jesse. And then he calls Leslie Nielsen and he goes, hey, yeah, I hate to tell you, but Evil wasn't on that bike. That was Jesse that died. And Leslie's like, fuck it. Go get the goons. Go get Evil Knievel, though. But it doesn't matter. The plan's still going to work just the same. I don't even know what we're doing.
Well, they tell him you gotta get Evil before he goes and tells the cops because he probably knows now. And get that kid, too. We need him for leverage.
And they're like, okay. So then Evil wakes up and sees the aftermath of all of this, and he sees the crowd going home and someone being taken away in an ambulance. And that's when he notices like a goon sneaking towards this hut. And so then he knocks the goon's ass out.
And this is kind of interesting because like he's clearly concussed.
Oh, yeah.
the way he's like he's switching jumpsuits, he's kind of wobbling around, and I don't think it was just him acting.
He did his morning bottle and then he showed up to set. He's ready to roll.
Well, this is one of many scenes that's like very out of focus too, which is either like a diegetic way to show the concussion or just it's out of focus because Evil killed another cameraman and they were just kind of making do with what they had.
I think by this point in the movie they're like, just do whatever. We don't care.
Just end this.
Because then Evil like beats him up, he knocks him out, and then he takes the Eagle bike, right? And then Evil drives. The next thing we see is Evil drives through the mental hospital door, takes out a gun he got from the goon, shoots the lock off Gene Kelly's room, and they drive the fuck out of there.
Also, fun little bit of trivia for you. when he bursts in like the Psychomania kids bursting into the police station. If you watch the side wings on the bird bike, he rips them right off. Like, he fucks up that bike so bad, crashing in through that thing. And then when we come back to the bike, it's brand new again.
Now, watching this scene, what I want to know is how many like fragile minds in this sanitarium did Evel Knievel just destroy irreparably by breaking through the front door and firing off a bunch of fucking gunshots?
Yeah, can you imagine? Imagine for a second you're in like the Panic tent at a music festival. And then suddenly a guy riding an eagle comes flying in here and starts firing a gun.
And he's playing his theme song while he's doing the whole thing too. It's fucking crazy, man.
Oh yeah, you know, like the following week there's some dude clawing at the walls just going, Viva, Viva, Viva.
Someone cuts their throat and Viva Knievel is written on the wall in blood.
Oh my god.
So now we're back at the hacienda, and Leslie and Cameron Mitchell are getting ready to switch the trailers. And then Evel and Gene pull up to the scene, see what the hell's going on, and we see him packing a coffin in the trailer, so I'm guessing that's Jesse. And then Kate and Tommy are here, and Leslie puts them in Evel's old trailer, and then he tells the boys, he goes, hey, just drop them off in the middle of the desert. And so then Evel and Gene go after the trailer. Like, basically, they beat up these two guys, and then they steal these bikes, and they chase after the bad guys.
This is pretty cool. Like, they're in matching bikes. They're basically Batman and Robin at this point.
Oh, and Gene is definitely Robin. We'll establish that very soon.
Of course.
So then...
Don't think for a second that Evel would ever let anyone else be Batman.
Hell no. And so then Leslie tells the goons he is hoping Gene and Evel will chase him, because that's part of the new plan. Is apparently this is all, he's making it up as he goes, but this is all going to work. He wants them to chase him. It's all part of the plan. We'll never find out what it is, but Evel and Gene make their plan of attack. They get on top of like this mountain and they go, okay. Evel's like, I'm going to go save the boy. And Gene's like, are you sure, Evel? Because I don't think I can take those two goons in that Porsche. I'm not sure I can. And Evel hands him a handgun. He goes, there you go. You'll be fine, Gene.
This ought to even the odds a little.
Not that many shots left at this point.
Yeah. I don't know if it's loaded.
You emptied most of them into the door.
So he goes, yeah, this will even the odds. Okay, go get him, Gene. I'll save your kid.
And then we get something I never thought I'd see. We get a disheveled Gene Kelly on a dirt bike shooting out the back windshield of Leslie Nielsen's Porsche.
Beautiful.
And the second he shoots out the windshield, they just suddenly turn around and start chasing him.
Yeah. And then they shoot him.
Yeah.
At this point,
they shoot him and he goes down a hill.
They shoot Gene Kelly. He flies off the handlebars of his bike down a hill, and I just write dead, I presume.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but all this like dirt bikes in the desert is like giving me serious Hills Have Eyes 2 vibes.
Oh, you think we're going to get like a dog remembering what's going to happen?
Yes. Reaper's going to show up.
Evel goes after Cameron Mitchell and the other goon in the truck, and he gets on top of the truck.
This is pretty rad.
Yeah, you say it's pretty rad. However, Evel wasn't doing the stunt.
No, he wasn't. That was the thing they kept secret for most of this film, is that Evel didn't do most of these stunts because he was probably injured most of the time.
Well, and they don't want him to fall. They want to get it on one take. There's no second take. So like, no, Evel, we need a professional, a guy who can land the jump.
Exactly. It's really sensible, like because you know this guy's probably gonna fuck it up.
So then Evel, he jumps on the... So the truck is going under a tunnel, and Evel like jumps off the top of the tunnel onto the truck. It's a pretty cool stunt, not done by him.
It's pretty good.
And then Evel climbs onto the truck, and Cameron Mitchell comes out to take a look with his gun, and then Evel just pulls this cable out of this truck. Like, he pulls a frickin' line out with his bare hands.
And it ends up locking up the rear brakes on the trailer, and the truck jackknifes.
Yeah.
And in doing so, it flings Cameron Mitchell off the truck and down into a ravine.
And I'm assuming dead. Because, you always think that Cameron Mitchell is going to show up at the most inopportune time and cause a little tension, maybe shoot somebody, maybe do something. No, he's gone. He had to go shoot his next movie because that's curtains. Champagne wrap for Cameron Mitchell. Thanks for coming. So Kate and Tommy fall into the back of the truck. That's the thing. So while it's jackknifing, Evel's like, I'm going to go save the boy and Kate. He jackknifes this truck, and they take a hell of a bump. in the back of this thing. They're falling all over dirt bikes and tools and everything. And they're like
you expect him to open the truck and go, oh no.
Well, because when he does, because he beats up this goon, then he opens the back of the truck. They're like laid out on the ground, and Kate's got like bumps and scratches and blood on her. It's like, dude, you could have found a better way to stop this thing. And so Tommy, he's like, hey, is my dad okay? And Gene or Evil's kind of like, yeah, about that.
Yeah, he's fine. He did the other thing. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, kid. Let's not. Who's your dad?
Yeah.
I'm your dad. What are you talking about?
You know how to use a gun, right?
Good thing you got two.
Yeah, good thing you got two dads.
And he says to him, I got one of those goons down, and we're going to make sure he stays down. Time you learned about death, son.
Tommy, have you ever hogtied a man?
How great would it have been if Evil got the goon on his knees and he goes, Tommy, you ever used a gun before? Go ahead, press it to the back of his head. That's how the trigger works. Nope, take the safety off.
I'm going to show you something I learned in Yellowstone.
So then Evil tells Kate and Tommy, he's like, go hide in those bushes. I'll be back with Gene Kelly, or maybe not. And so then he rides off to go get Leslie and the other goon. Then there's a really long chase with Leslie and Evil through the back lot of.
It ends up back at the hacienda.
Yeah, through the set of.
Through a back lot?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a back lot. Like the stunt show starts at 12, but they could film the Evil movie at 10.
Oh, Pee-wee definitely rode by on his bicycle.
And then suddenly, it just kind of happens out of nowhere, is that Leslie Nielsen, they're like, we just need to end this scene. And so, for no reason, Leslie Nielsen and the goon just roll their Porsche over a hill and it explodes.
And it's like a mine trap level explosion, because you just get kind of the screensaver blast.
Yeah.
Like, Evil Knievel just does like I don't even know how to explain it. He just does like like what you would do to a bull, but there's nothing to attract him. Yeah. He just gets on the top of.
Well, he's in Mexico.
He just gets on top of a cliff, and then for no reason, Leslie Nielsen and the goon just drive off a cliff.
I think they just got tired.
At this point, we have 3 confirmed on-screen kills for Mr. Knievel. Just want to put that out there.
3 justifiable homicides.
Evil's like, we need to get the hell out of Mexico because they are gonna come looking. That's why he had Tommy kill that guy before, because he's like, they'll never convict the boy, So now Kate and Tommy are sitting in the bushes waiting for Evil to come back, and Tommy spots Gene Kelly wandering around the desert, and he runs to greet him, and Gene is so happy to see him, and they embrace. This is when I thought Cameron Mitchell was going to come out and kill the both of them. Like, I really thought it was going to end.
Sudden shock of the bad guy coming back. That'd be great. Just pops up from behind a rock.
Wouldn't it make sense, though? Is that he's still alive?
Absolutely.
His fall wasn't nearly as bad as Gene's.
No.
Or Knievel's.
No, he just kind of fell off the truck into some bushes. I thought he was going to come back because they showed the shot of Kate still hiding in the bushes. I was like, oh shit, it's Cameron. Oh, it's just Kate. So then Evil comes back and he tells Kate, he's like, I saved the day, but I couldn't find Gene Kelly, but I don't think it's a big deal. She goes, oh no, Gene found them. And you see Evil kind of look over and he's not even really happy about it. He's just like,
God damn it.
And Kate says, he says, one of them says, hey, they finally found each other. He says, they finally found each other. And he goes, like we did. And then they kiss each other.
Yes.
It's so unearned. They have like no scenes together.
That's my problem. Like, where did this even come from? I thought she hated him. And not in that fun way. Like in adventure movies where they bicker and then they make... No, she legit hates him.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all forgiven.
Yeah, and they stop having scenes together as soon as they like join up.
Yeah. And then...
but that's okay. Frank Gifford's back in sunny Mexico.
Yeah, and apparently, here's the thing that bugged me about this is that Evil's going to do the jump. So I'm like, okay, did they honor the original...
Man of his word.
Did they honor the original ticket purchases and you had to come back today? Did they what's the deal here? Like, did people have to buy a new ticket? Were there returns? And then I'm also like, and also,
they had to buy a new ticket.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cause I'm like, well, who's paying for the show now? Cause Leslie Nielsen,
Red Buttons is back on the deal.
The Czechoslovakian hockey team's paying for it.
Oh, wow.
Got him again.
So then he makes the jump. Credits. We kind of hit
that music.
He makes the jump. We don't see the full landing, and then it just cuts to the credits right away. Like, he fell, right?
Yeah,
it's like that Pepsi logo of a screen.
Yeah,
that the credits go over.
Because right before the bike touches ramp, it just turns into a cartoon. It turns into the Saturday morning version.
And we get the theme song again in the credits, and that's Viva Knievel. Guys, do you recommend it?
Shane?
Oh boy. Well, you see, as the representative patron on this episode, no, I don't. I really can't recommend this movie. I know everyone voted for it. I mean, if you have a podcast to do and you need to take notes and have fun with that, then like, yeah, that's fun. But I would never watch this like for my leisure time. I didn't like it.
Bobby, I think we know, but go ahead.
I mean, I just want to take this moment to repeat that I already owned a DVD of this. And of course, I love it more every time I watch it. This movie's fucking dope. I don't care what anybody says, you're all wrong.
Unlike Shane, you do watch it for pleasure multiple times a year.
I do, and I get a great deal of pleasure out of watching this because there's just something so unique about Evel Knievel. He's such trash. Yeah. It's amazing.
Well, after hearing his like real life story, like I think the movie is kind of a letdown.
I honestly,
not nearly as many deaths and scams.
When we were taking the notes, I honestly was thinking like I'd love to see a biopic that like covers all of that dirty shit.
Well, there is a biopic, but it doesn't cover that.
No, it's the biopic is like George Hamilton, just like I'm gonna make this jump for America.
And he makes it.
And I'm like, no. I want like crazy, violent grifter Evel Knievel. One that like the biopic we can only get once like Robbie's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shane, you were hoping that this
wait.
movie would have more of Evil beating people to near death with aluminum baseball bats?
Yeah, I want to see the real life version of Evel Knievel that's more akin to a 60s Batman villain.
The one that's
like that's the one I wanted to see.
Box at the end of every jump.
You kind of did when he kicked Red Button's ass and slapped him around his trailer for a bit and told him to pay him under the table.
It definitely rises to the surface many times, despite like they try to put forth this wholesome image, but like
he's a piece of shit.
The devil inside.
So in this movie with Evel Knievel, his wholesome image is the first thing we see is him trying to rob a booker, right? Because he says he didn't pay him enough.
The first thing we see is him breaking into an orphanage.
Oh, that's right. Breaking into an orphanage in the middle of the night.
Doing a beanie at midnight around sick children.
To touch young boys on the shoulder and deliver them toys. And then, he beats up Red Buttons for not paying him enough. He tries to hit on a woman in front of maybe her son. He then tries to hit on another woman who is clearly not interested in him, but he won't say no. He won't take no for an answer. The next thing he does is he never makes a jump. He tries to steal his best friend's son. That's it. He goes to Mexico. He doesn't make he almost dies, and then he comes back. Real American hero, kids.
He kills a few people.
Kills a few people. So, with that being said, 100% I recommend this movie.
Fuck yeah. Viva.
This, guys, if you listen to what I just said, this is the biopic about Evel Knievel. It really does show the real evil. Like, there's no hiding how much of a piece of garbage he really is. It's all in here.
It's the only thing they tweaked at all was just people's reaction to his shadiness.
Is that he's always right.
And they're always happy that he did it.
Like, we're so glad you beat up Mr. Buttons. He deserved it. And then they played golf together later, so it wasn't like it was a big deal. It's just the type of relationship they have. So, guys, do you hear that sound?
Oh, we do.
How do you think Bobby and DeVito fit in the world of Viva Knievel?
Well, I'll go first. As we established at the beginning, Evel Knievel's jumping career ended in 1977. You know what began in 1977?
Oh boy!
So you just know that the people of Mexico and the people of London got to see something a little more substantial than a dirt bike make some jumps.
Let's see the straight arrow making it.
And I have a feeling it had about the same success rate.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, it didn't even clear the Tigers.
Oh hell no! No, it flipped immediately off of it and then rolled over and exploded. And I just imagine
just do a front flip into the
you see, just right into the pen. And DeVito's gone, but as they're carrying Bobby away under his sheet, you just see it start bunching up around his midsection. They go, "He's okay, folks."
And they go, boo. Do you think like people would boo when Evil actually made a jump successfully?
Absolutely. You know they would.
Definitely.
Shane, how do you think they'd fit?
Well, like we mentioned, that mind trap like explosion at the end with Leslie Nielsen wasn't very convincing. I think those guys got out of it okay. They've still got a lot of drugs to push, and this whole Knievel thing is just not working out. So they've got to get back to the drawing board. We need a vehicle. We need spectacle. So they draft Bobby and have him doing jumps. DeVito dresses up as a Legends of the Hidden Temple guy, goes by the fire, and Bobby completes the Mexican tour. And he flips over and dies, and they use his coffin to fill it with drugs.
Oh, it worked out for everybody.
Well, you see, his hair's they couldn't get the helmet on, so
The helmet's just floating up. I like that. Just can't get it all the way down. Either that or like the poof is just coming out of the top of the helmet, like they cut a hole for it.
Do you think at any point we got evil DeVito?
No. Well, maybe that was the picture of him crashing at Wembley. He's about his size. So
what do you think, Mike?
Well, Bobby, you said it was 1977, right?
Yeah.
Well, things didn't work out so well with Karen and Evil. She found out who he really was, and it only took about another day to be around him. But she got sent on another assignment. She got sent on an assignment to Malibu to look into these kids and their van culture. And I feel like she stumbled upon a certain pizza parlor. She's taking pictures of all the vans and VanCon and all that. And she stumbles upon a yellow one that has Straight Arrow written on the side of it. And funny enough, she was never heard from again.
It's the ending we all expected.
Viva! Viva Knievel! Viva Straight Arrow! He put that on the 8-track and took a hard left, guys.
That was fantastic. And you know what? So was this episode.
Yes, Shane, thank you again for joining us. You can join us anytime. You are one of our patron members, but you're also a great host to have here on the Grindbin. So,
well, thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Friend of the show, Shane. Welcome back anytime you want, dude.
I mean, it's more than I can say for Terry, but Shane, you've...
Oh, man.
God. Yeah. I'm looking at him now.
Terry's the real Knievel of that family.
So, Shane, is there anything you want to tell the patrons, maybe where they can find you on Twitter or anything?
Don't come find me. There's nothing interesting or notable. So you can see me sometimes comment on the Patreon. You can see me sometimes comment on Twitter posts on Grindbin, and let's just leave it at that. The less said, the better.
Everybody that does the show is serious,
Yeah.
Especially Chris Mann. I mean, I've known him since kindergarten. I still don't know him. So
can't figure that guy out at all.
I have yet to meet Chris Mann. This is my second episode, and
you'll meet Mann eventually.
I was really hoping. Another man down. I was really hoping the man himself would be there.
Well, you know what? Next time I'll make sure that Mann makes an appearance. If you want to hear some heavy breathing and some occasional comments, we'll get Mann on.
That'll be the vow. Next time the man comes around.
So you can find us on grindhousefilm.com, Twitter, we're at GrindPod, Facebook, the Grindbin Podcast. You can find us on iTunes, rate us 5 stars, and review us if you like this show, and tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell everybody you know about the Grindbin. Bobby, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, you can mosey on over to Patreon and check out the mini bin that we are doing pretty damn close to once a week. A lot of amazing things. In fact, I think, Mike, I'm dropping this on you out of nowhere now. I have an episode for the mini bin that can be paired well with what we covered here tonight.
Oh boy, well, I can't wait to hear it. Do you want to tell us on the show here, or?
Well, I'll have you know, one Mr. Evil Knievel appeared on an episode of The Bionic Woman as himself.
Oh no.
Getting caught up in yet another scheme by dastardly villains. And I think we might have to go in and see what happened there.
Oh, I think so.
I assume most of his bones and muscles are synthetic at this point after breaking them so much, so that's a good fit.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so maybe he plays the Bionic Man. Oh, I like that. So you can hear all that. $2 a month on our Patreon. And
Bobby, start the ambulance.
got no real rhythm.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny.
And baby daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creamed.